Hello, my beautiful gemstones. Welcome to Friday night's live intuitive oracle. It is so good to see all of you guys. Thank you all for showing up and turning out. I think I said that right. Lotus Girl loves the cartoon pic. So cute. Hello, dear. Latro fixing his truck. Come in to cool off and say hello. Come on in. Grab some fresh squeezed lemonade. What's up, Bat Mom? Multifaceted Jules. What is up, sweetheart? So good to see you. Aunt Edna. Latro says the broomstick. Yeah, it seemed absolutely fitting. I didn't notice that she was not wearing anything when I put it up, but of course, Ryan Tremblay and I have decided to adopt each other as siblings. He's Luke and I'm Leia, and we came to that because we were joking about something. I don't know. Anyway, he pointed it out, and I'm like, oh gosh. And then it kind of became a running theme and a running joke, so I left it up there. YouTube might make me take it down because that's how childish they are, but I thought it was a really cute cartoon, so just used it. Blue Crossroads, what's up, sweetie? Darling Deb. Darling Deb girl, I messaged you last night. I'm like, I haven't heard from you since Sunday night. What is going on? So guys, just a couple of things. Gone Mysterious Disappearances 2. I think if I check my email, I'm going to find out when that's coming out. It'll be out, I'm sure, very soon. What else? Donations. Guys, I don't even have $5 to pay for the site that I use for research. So if you can donate to PayPal and Cash App, I would really appreciate it. I don't like pushing donations. It feels self-promoting and self-serving, but I do work. So all of you who have been donating, I really do appreciate it. And those of you who haven't been, I get it. So I don't want to be pushy in that way. But I just do need to put it out there that if you can, I really would appreciate it. YouTube only pays once a month and I only get half of everything I make. We're working on Rumble. I'm doing the introduction video sometime either Sunday or next week. We should have that on there. I am slowly creeping towards doing Oracle on TikTok. I still don't freaking understand that app. Thank you so much for supporting the shorts, as I've asked you guys to do so many times. So many more people are watching them, getting so much more exposure, so many more subscribers. I love it. Guys, in April, we had 2 eclipses, which that energy literally almost took me out. It was horrific. And I didn't realize what was going on until I was in the thick of it, right? I had to start looking into like, what is going on? And then you guys reminded me and I'm like, oh my gosh, how did I not know that? I'm not an astrologer. I do pay attention when I hear that things are going on, but sometimes I don't know the way things are going to affect us. I know that by reading your oracle, reading your energy and talking with you, not by the astrology. Sometimes I will know. So we came out of that right into the retrograde, and then we had the shadow phase of the retrograde. The shadow phase finally ends, and now we have the solar flares. There were memes going around last week that said all weekend with the solar flares. That doesn't mean it's over on Sunday. First of all, it's lasting way longer than that. Secondly, energy doesn't just stop. So if we're having these solar flares, it's not like, the universe is like, okay, we're going to go by the Gregorian calendar. So on Friday at 3 p.m. Central Time, we're going to start solar flaring. And Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, we're going to stop. Like, it doesn't work that way. The energy has to eventually fade away. And that's probably not going to happen for another 2 weeks. It is severely messing with technology. It is severely messing with the energy in general. And that means our personal energy. So we really have to hold on tight to our energy and take really extra good care of ourselves. Life with Bobby, what's up? Good to see you. Mark Hall said, hello, Mr. Slow Motion. Huge geomagnetic storm too. Yes, there's a lot going on. So please guard your energy, protect yourself. If something feels forced, false, negative, unnatural, inauthentic, please keep yourself away from it, whatever it may be, as best as you can. Okay, don't even allow that into your life, guys. The best thing you could do is to push that away if you can. Some of us can't, some of us can. Do the best you can to protect yourself. That is self-care to the ultimate degree. Let me bring in the Ghost Dragon.
Nope. Hi, everybody.
Oh, who saw me win that victory royale today, though? You know what happened? I actually played where I dropped into the vault and died immediately. And I was like, I'm not going to put that on there. So I cut that out. Hear me say, okay, we're back. And this time, and then I started talking about the vault. Blue Crossroads said the solar flares magnetically charge the atmosphere. So once they're done, it takes time for the charge in the atmosphere. It takes time to dissipate. That is the perfect way to put that. I love it. I'm so excited to be here. Why don't we just move along? Why don't we just red and black? I saw red.
You ready?
I'm
sorry, I wasn't ready. I'm having
lighting crying, wanna be.
Sorry. Sing it, baby.
I heard a woman singing that, and she had such rasp in her voice. She sounded so beautiful.
I'll say my hellos as I call name. So the first person I saw today, as I wander around the old Wonder Net, and saw Bat Mom. So Bat Mom's first.
All right, Bat Mom, I will put up what he said on screen. So Blue Crossroads said the solar flares magnetically charge the atmosphere. So the energy around us is being magnetically charged, right? Super duper strength. It's like superhero energy. Only sometimes it can affect us negatively. It depends where your energy's at. At the moment, it connects with this magnetic energy, right? So once they're done, once all the charging is done, once the flares stop, it takes time for that charge that the flares put into the atmosphere to dissipate, to go away. What I was saying is it's not like people were like, oh, this weekend. So no, it doesn't just go by like the universe, the sun doesn't go by our calendar. So people were saying like from Friday to Sunday, no, it's going to be a few weeks before we're back to normal, our own version of normal, whatever that is. So let's start with Bat Mom. Bat Mom, I am going to use Myths and Mermaids. Abby Normal, yes.
Slow-mo, I'll sneak in a little early because I know you're across the pond, and it's probably like...
And anyone else that has to leave early for any reason, if we can accommodate you, we definitely will, but you have to let us know. That's so red. All right, you got the Jellyfish Portal. Card number 19. By the way, guys, Monday at 11, we have Listener Encounters 17. Monday at 12, we have Listener Encounters 18. I did a double feature for y'all, 2 separate videos. It's going to be pretty awesome because I couldn't research because the site I use and trust that I've been using for 4 years, I can't access because I can't pay the $5. It's that bad. Bat Mom, a dazzling show of gilded glass can mask the tasteless, foul, and crass. Who knows what beastly mass confusion lies beneath such fine illusion? This glitzy, opulent charade, a glib attempt at masquerade, has fooled a wiser girl than me and left her swimming lost at sea. Why hope for anything but lies from him, the master of disguise? And you got it in the upright position. A pretty girl shows her attraction to an octopus, clearly drawn in by the gold, jewels, and colorful gemstones dripping from his limber frame. So mesmerizing is his costume, she's oblivious to what might be lying beneath the surface. Divination message. Look beneath the surface. Be careful, my friend. Not everyone is as they seem to be. Not all that glitters is gold, nor is every bright bauble the priceless treasure it first appears to be. You may have recently encountered someone charming whose flashy facade draws people in, but remember, that's all it is, a facade. You must look beneath the surface to see the true value of a person, and like the jeweled octopus, your new acquaintance just might be hiding behind a dazzling disguise. So while I know that you're probably thinking, I know who this is, I don't think it's the person you or I initially thought it was, because I do feel like this is somebody new coming in. This could be someone you're meeting through someone else. So not necessarily someone you've never met before, but just someone that's being brought around you in the next week or two. I'd go so far as to say like in the next month. Just be wary of new people. We tend to do this thing where we know someone's energy is off, right? We know that something feels wrong about them, but everybody else loves them and everyone else seems to think that, you know, Bob's a really great guy. So we don't want to be the one to be like, oh, you know, I get a really bad vibe off Bob, or if you get like an intuitive hit or a download about Bob that he's like a bank robber or whatever, silly example. Like, we don't want to be the ones to say that because we can't really justify what we're feeling except to say it's intuition, it's download. So we don't say anything and we go with the program and we end up getting screwed by Bob. Bat Mom, don't let this happen. If you get a bad feeling about somebody, go with that bad feeling. Stay away from them. Hey, Mama Donna, so good to see you. If you feel like somebody's lying to you, more than likely they are. It's like when you walk into a room and you feel like everyone in the room knows something that you don't. Everyone's suddenly quiet or whatever. They do. Like in this situation, there's like people that know what's going on, either avoiding you or smiling right in your face and pretending like they don't know. And this person is one of those people that knows more about like your life than you do because they're privy to things that are being kept from you. Now, you could try to talk to this person, but I don't think they're going to be the type of person that budges on something like this. So here's the deal. If you get a bad feeling about the guy walking across the street, like walking down the street, cross the street, if you get a bad feeling about the cashier in the grocery store, don't go to their register. It's that serious. If you get a bad feeling about somebody, get away from them, particularly through the rest of the month of May. You have enough that you're dealing with one toxic person. Do not allow more to be introduced into your energy to feed off of you and drain you. I feel like this person is coming in the guise of a friend. Either they're being introduced to you that way, a friend of a friend, or they're offering you a shoulder to cry on. They're offering you, you know, an ear to talk into, but they have ulterior motives as well. And I feel like you're going to feel that. You're going to know that right away, but your desperation for connection, for a friend, for someone to talk and vent to, there's a real risk that it's going to override those negative feelings that you're having. And you can't afford to let that happen because somebody around you, this toxic piece of poop, is just waiting for you to slip, just waiting to catch you in some compromising position so that they can use that simple, innocent thing that just looked bad as like, that's what they're going to go to now. So everything they do wrong to you purposely, when you bring it up, like, hey, I found so-and-so's number in your phone and what were with these text messages, I know you're cheating. It's going to be like, well, remember when you did XYZ with so-and-so? And it's always going to come back to that. So don't put yourself in a position to be, you know, for it to be made compromised. Listen to your gut and don't be afraid like of hurting someone's feelings with it. Like someone's going to feel bad because you're like, you know what? I just have a bad feeling about this. I'm not going to give you my number. Or, you know, give the person, I always say give them the real number and then just block them because girls are out here, people are out here getting murdered over like giving a guy a fake number. I've seen it happen so many times that I now give my real number, but I just block the person immediately afterwards. Like, be careful who you allow into your personal space, your personal energy. Who's next? Well, I'm here, girl.
Lotus. Dear Lotus. Lotus. That flower girl, Lotus. Girl that drives a truck, can drive a truck and tow the thing. Oh,
you done?
Yeah.
All right, Lotus, I'm using the Dark Goddess Oracle. You're welcome. Lotus girl, you got DT. Revenge. Ruh-roh. When they are beaten, some people will just give up or turn and walk away, but not you. You're going to seek revenge. But right now it's getting to the point where it will consume you rather than give you the strength to rise above the actions of those who have wronged you. A broken heart will not mend by inflicting the pain onto others. It'll just remain broken for a longer period of time. Falsehoods spoken have left you raw, but the desire to add to those lies are a knee-jerk reaction and will only make things worse. Tennille, DT, who reigns over so many, asks you to think twice and then think again. Her acts of revenge backfired, and she's warning you off of doing the same. Take the high ground and remove yourself from a situation or relationship that will only shatter your dreams once more. Be the better person. Be the bigger person. Forgive and move on. Show the world you are much more than a victim of circumstance. Think about what you should do rather than what you want to do. Don't act in haste. Your partner's ex is on the warpath. Think through all your options before taking drastic action. Tell someone how you really feel about a situation that's causing you sleepless nights. Negative behaviors need to be addressed immediately. Thank you, Miss Batmom. I appreciate you. You guys are so great. Archetypal Avenger of Indian origin, Didi wanted a son more powerful than Indra, who had killed her previous children. But Indra used a thunderbolt to splinter the fetus into many pieces, creating the 49 Maruts. DT was also instrumental in partitioning of India into Hindi and Tamil, North and South India, to gain control and autonomy over the gods. So, all right, not sure what that anything there. Listen, Lotus, I think you are going to want to get back at somebody, but I don't think it's like getting back at them. You're like tit for tat. I think this is more of what I'm seeing from your team is like you want to defend yourself. You want to defend yourself, though, in a way of like not just putting the facts out there. You want to get in this person's face. You want to hold them accountable publicly, like getting on social media and being like, don't listen to what so-and-so is saying. This is what so-and-so said about me. Look what so-and-so is doing. And you'd have the right to do that, to that righteous anger. Absolutely. But the universe is saying, how is that going to serve you? How is that showing the universe that you've learned these lessons that you're supposed to be learning of being the bigger person, becoming the better person, and reaping what you sow? So the universe, karma, is going to take care of this person one way or the other. It doesn't need your help. So in the next week or two, I know there's a lot of situations going on with your life right now. I could think of at least two where you would be justified in seeking revenge. But take that energy and put it somewhere else. Like the card said, Tennille, think about what you should do. What is your instinct guiding you to do? What is your team telling you to do? What downloads are you getting? Because it's not going to be go on social media and blast these people. This is another card of following your instinct and your intuition into doing the right thing. The right thing for you in the long run, the right thing for everyone involved, except maybe the people that are bullying you. And I do see this as like internet bullying. I'm seeing post after post after post. And that can be really draining. It can really make you feel some type of way about yourself. It can be humiliating and dehumanizing and infuriating because there's nothing at all you can do about it. Nothing. People can just get on here and say whatever they want. But the universe wants to see how you're going to react and respond to that. And the way you react and respond to this abuse, this bullying, again, I do see it as internet, but it could be really anything. That's what's going to show the universe whether or not you've changed enough, you've learned, and you've grown enough to be able to move on and move forward from what and or whoever this is.
Are you ready? Latro is next. He is listening. He's working on his truck. So,
Nut slap, you sneakily started early. I started at 7. I put 7:15 just in case I end up running behind. But here we go. I knew it. I knew. What did I say in the beginning of this stream? The thumbnail has now become a thing. Okay. It was really splintery. That's all I have to say. When I tried it out, really splintery. I'm sorry. Who is it? Latro? Hey.
Hey. Yes. Hey.
Latro, I'm going to use Shapeshifter.
I know throwing the wrenches.
Donna, maybe go out and come back in. or find the little button that says, I don't know what kind of phone you have, but there's usually a button that says chat where you'll be in the comments unless you hit that button. But really, I would just go out and come back in. And remind me you're here in a few minutes because I know you go to bed early. Donna is working now. She goes to work super duper early. So I'd like to get her in before she falls asleep. Mwah, you're so welcome. And thank you for that beautiful cross, by the way. Go out and come in. If you can't see the chat, I will just read for you. But that shouldn't be a problem. All right, Sir Latro. By the way, guys, thank you for the comments. Some of y'all are commenting in the shorts like for the algorithm. I love that. Thank you. Because that works. Any interaction, and that's what trolls don't understand. You can come in and say whatever you want to and or about me. It's interaction. YouTube doesn't read what it is. It's just that you watched my video and commented on it. So thanks, but you guys are so cool. You've been so great in just really watching the shorts and supporting them. I know some of it isn't y'all's style. Like today I was in a crazy mood, so I did some crazy shorts that may not have made sense to a lot of you, but you're still watching them to support me. It's 2 to 60 seconds of your life. So I do appreciate that. Latro, you got the mermaid and the turtle. An elder will teach you. Card number 25. I don't know that I've ever pulled this card before. Ever. And this was one of the first decks I ever got. Donna, awesome. Nutslap, yeah, I am. I'm doing better. When you speak to me on my doctor days, I'm usually not in a good mood. That place is one of the only places in the country that has a walk-in medical detox. It's one of 3 in the country, 2 in New Jersey. So there's a lot of drug use. It's also where IOPs are. There's long-term rehab, short-term rehabs. The mental health facilities are all there. And the long-term all women's rehab is in the back. So there's a lot of trigger at that doctor appointment for me. Yeah, I was mad the other day. All right, Latro. It is highly unlikely that a literal experienced tribal elder will step forward in garb of feather and bone to guide you today, though such beings can appear in vision and in disguise. As shapeshifters, they can become almost anyone. So while it may seem that there's no witch with her cauldron of transformation at the ready, no green man to take you into the deep beneath of the underworld and help you to be reborn, there are ancient ones who are ready to teach you the deep knowledge of the planet and her oceans they come to you in many ways. Latro, at this time, it is the turtles who will speak with you, letting you know of your very old soul and whispering words that reawaken knowledge that is deep in the blood and the bone of Mother Sea. The goddess Saidna may also be speaking to you of her journey from a victim to a being who gave the gift of creation to the creatures in the deepest oceans. Her pain was transformed, and with this new knowledge, you too will transform your wounds and losses into wonders, knowledge, and imaginations that brings you closer to the true reality we all live in as the world changes again and again. The mermaid and the turtle speak. Although I, the turtle, am a newborn, I have lived lifetimes. I have come through to teach this young one who is of both the land and the sea. There are lessons she must understand in order to be of any benefit to this world. She has been a good student of life, and she has earned the right to have the ancient wisdom imparted to her now. I will teach, and if she will listen and become receptive, the deep lessons will be hers. Others will gather around and try to overhear the secrets I share with her, but the knowledge is for her. Soon she will have initiations and teachings in sacred practice. Until then, she must listen well to the very old ones, for they know the shape of the future. Divination, Latro, in order to grow, we must experience transitions and changes. To be fully alive, we must die again and again, all in this one lifetime. While we have so many rituals for birthdays and religious holidays, we often yearn for the depth of the rituals of the old days, during which part of us would die and another part of us would spring to life, and we would be reborn and renewed. Transitions into adulthood and changing your home or vocation were honored, marked, and witnessed in unique ways that gave us permission to own our own power in the next change of our wonderful, meaningful lives. You are now about to celebrate life's great shifts in more meaningful ways. No more just being a follower. You became an initiator because you have listened to the wise words of the oldest creatures on the planet, the one who carries Gaia on her back. If you have listened well, your every action will be an offering back to the earth, a ritual, and you will nourish and help heal her. You are about to enter into a real relationship with the cycles of the planet, and you will be asked to observe these respectfully thanks to the teachings of the elder. A mentor, elder, or other wise one will instruct you at this time, but she may come in the form of a young person. Listen, choose this person well. Your mentor must be a good teacher. Indigenous ancestral practices of your bloodline and spirit line are about to be reclaimed. Oh, Donna, you always have problems in the chat. Latro, I do feel like there is, I don't know if this person's going to be like a mentor, like my mentor, like I call him when I need to talk about stuff. He helps me like do my resume. Well, he should have helped me, helps me with my books, like that type of thing. Or if this is just going to be someone that you become aware of and like you listen to their videos and you I'm just using this as an example, like Dolores Cannon, like you decide that you agree very much with what she says. You want to follow her teachings. There's something coming in that is a shift for you, where it's like you're learning and changing and growing in something. I don't know if it's energetic. I don't know if it's just you're learning more about the job you do so that you can get a promotion. There is something here that you are leveling up in, glowing up, bossing up, however you want to put it. And it's thanks to the guidance or the information that's provided by someone else. So if you hear something and you're like, that sounds really interesting, and you either go and talk to the person or you like look them up on the internet and again, go through their videos, read their books, listen to their teachings. This is a really good time for you to do something like that, because I feel like the growth and change you can make just by this connection is going to be like immeasurable, right? So if there's something you're struggling with right now, don't be surprised if within the next week or two, you either meet someone else struggling with the same thing who has different ideas about the whole thing than you and can open your eyes to new insight and ways of dealing with things. Or if you come across someone who has been through the exact thing you're going through and has gotten through it. And in you seeing that, you're kind of drawn to this person for advice. I definitely see a teacher, a mentor type figure coming into your life, but not in the form of a mentor. It's just like someone who has gone through what you're going through. If you refuse to reach out to this person, then you're never going to know what kind of help they could have given you, what kind of growth you could have experienced. Don't snub help if it comes in the form of like someone much younger than you or someone who you think couldn't possibly understand what you're going through. The next week or two, it's very important to listen to what everybody has to say. And this isn't talking about like, hate speech or hateful things like that. This is just talking about like the advice that you're being given. Look at where it's coming from, see what makes the most sense, and then follow that advice. I don't think in the next week or two, I don't want to say you're not capable, but I don't think you're in the right place spiritually, psychically, emotionally, or maybe even mentally, where you're able to make a major decision on whatever this major thing is going on in your life. So you're going to be looking for advice or looking for ways other people did it and following them. Don't trust your own judgment right now in the next week or two. Not for everything, but for whatever this big thing is that's troubling you, that you're really struggling with, whether you've admitted it out loud or not. With this particular thing, you need outside guidance. Either you're going to go and get it, you're going to go seeking it and find it, or the universe is going to send someone to you, and you're going to have to reach out in kindness to someone who it may seem like there's no way this could be the person I'm looking for. I hope that makes sense. That was kind of a tricky reading.
Okay. Next is multifaceted Jules.
All right, Miss Multifaceted Jules. I am using the Witching Hour. Amazing. See that? I've got a health meetup June 2nd with Great Minds in the Fields. Includes Dr. Shafi from Australia, June 2nd. Well, good luck with that. Make sure you take notes, because the advice that I see coming in, or like, I don't even know if it's advice. I just feel like these people or this person, they're speaking and you're just drawn in to listen. There's a reason for that. Take it very seriously. It could propel you further into whatever you're trying to do. Don't forget Donna's leaving soon as well. Or she might. I'm not kicking you out, Donna. I just want to make sure you get a reading before you fall asleep. That's all.
I'll tell you what, when you're ready to give her reading, just let me know.
Mama, the solar flares that I was talking about, I don't know if you heard in the beginning of the stream. I can talk to you about them privately tomorrow. You're going to have a lot of issues. And did I mention how incredibly proud of you I am? I just want to say publicly, I am so proud of this woman. She looked, Donna was looking for a job, and I know you don't really care I'm saying this. I'm not going to get too personal, but she was looking for a job literally for like so long, and she didn't get discouraged, and she just kept saying, the right job's out there for me. I'm going to get a job. And she finally did, and she's working her butt off, and I'm so proud of her. All right, Miss Julie girl, I hope you're doing well. I've been praying for you. Now I have a new spot where I do my prayers, thanks to Miss Tennille. Thank you, Miss Deb. Yes, way to go, Donna. Yes, very, very proud of her. She didn't give up, and she was faced with a lot of adversity, you know, and I was worried for a while that she was going to. Jules, card number 43, the Blood Trail, the card of Magnificence. Keywords, lineage, connecting to something greater. Tarot companion is the 6 of Wands. Jules, close your eyes and imagine how many people and generations had to occur for you to be alive today, right now. Your ancestral lineage goes back for thousands of years, all the way back to the first woman and the first man. And within all of those generations were every kind of person you can imagine. Business owners, teachers, rebels, revolutionaries, inventors, healers, heroes, hunters, gatherers, maybe even royalty, all coming together, sharing their blood to form one magnificent being. You. You are connected to something greater than just yourself and have the strength, wisdom, and glory to all your ancestors backing you up. Do not doubt how powerful your existence is. Through the blood trail, you have the DNA of any kind of person you wish to be. It doesn't matter how far removed your ancestors are. They have offered their greatness to you through your familial ties and will support you in your efforts to achieve all of your dreams. What's up, Miss Lara? If you have felt lost or confused, insecure, or vulnerable, reach out to your ancestors, Jules, and ask them to share their collective power with you. When you are troubled, give your worries to them and ask them to clear your path. And when you are experiencing joy, rejoice with them and thank them for the strengths and talents they have offered to you through the blood flowing through your veins. Pulling this card serves as a hello from your ancestors and an invitation to commune with them more often. If you don't already have one, build an altar in their honor and spend time at this sacred space in the coming weeks. Notice how you experience more clarity and direction as you spend more time with your ancestors. And I've got to say, this is something I've personally been working on. Just inviting certain members of my team into my life specifically. Things haven't started getting better yet, but I feel it in the energy, right? Out of spiritual alignment, what you have asked about is not ideal for you at this time. So let's break this down. Jules, inviting your ancestors in, talking to your ancestors as though they're right there next to you, asking them for advice and either writing it down, automatic writing, or just listening to the guidance and downloads that come in, okay? If there's something on your mind that you're wondering, should I do this? Should I not do this? In the next week or two, no, you should not do whatever this is. You're missing some information here, okay? This is also saying that throughout the centuries, thousands of years that your family has lived and your ancestral bloodlines have grown to culminate into you, right? You special, beautiful, amazing, bright, beautiful, 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 beautiful being. There have been all kinds. So it is within your blood to achieve whatever this is that you're trying to achieve. Okay? Nothing is impossible. It's all been done before. I do still feel an influence over you. I don't know if it's energetic or if it's an actual person, of like this dead weight of like, feeling like you're not good enough. You can't do it. You're never, all of these negative thoughts that we have when things are getting rough. The universe is saying you have to invite these entities in and talk to them. I automatic write the responses from the entities I can't physically see. A lot of the things I can do for you guys, a lot of the things I can see, I'll keep it very vague now that I have spies. I can't see for myself. I can only do it for y'all. So I automatic write too. Jules, in the next week or two, try some communication via automatic writing. If you don't want to set up like a whole altar, just do like a little crystal and a candle. Spirit does respond positively to all spirit, positive and negative, to candlelight, not artificial light. Artificial light is the best way to get a spirit to not come to you. They're drawn in by the energy. Jules, light some candles and talk to them. And Pixie, I'll talk to you privately. By the way, did you ever send that book, Dave, signed for me, or are you reading it? Yeah, people kind of taking what I'm saying out of context. So if I say like 10 sentences about growing and learning and changing and being a better person, because 5 years ago I would have punched you in your face, they're writing down, said she punches people in the face. Spies. I just dropped my ring. I took it off to crack my knuckle and away it went. Okay, I found it. All right. If you want a relationship with your only living brother, the next week or two is not a good time to initiate that conversation. So maybe take a step back from that, do this connection with your ancestors, get some more info, some more positive energy, love and light from them and guidance, and then move forward with that. Does anyone mind if I read for Donna right now? Yes, Miss Deb. And they make me feel awkward. I feel like I can't be myself.
Okay, do this. Go ahead and do Donna, then do slow motion, then do Edna.
Okay, great. Oh, Pixie, you're so sweet. I just figured you were reading it. I just remembered the other day because I haven't thanked him yet because I want to send him a picture of me with the book. So I didn't want him to think I was an ungrateful a-hole. Well, Nutslap, I really wasn't asking you. You're the exception. For making me say Nutslap in videos, or like I'm randomly riding in the car and like, oh, who are you texting? Oh, Nutslap. I mean, I know your real name, but I like nicknames too. Okay, Miss Donna, I'm going to use the Fairy Forest Oracle. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Okay, so it's too big for my ring finger and too small for my middle. Does anyone want a clear quartz ring? Next box I send out, this is going to somebody. I'll charge it up. Oh, thank you, Miss Jules. Yeah, my mom thinks it's hilarious. You are in the listener encounters coming on Monday. I believe you're in 17, so 11 o'clock's video, but I'm not sure. There's another person in here who is the subject of like 1.5 listener encounters in here, but they asked me to change the name of the people in their story. So I assumed that they also wanted me to change their name. But a lot of you gemstones will know who it is because this person has spoken about what's going on with them in stream. I'd appreciate it if you don't out them in the comments, unless they come and say, oh, that was me in, the second story or whatever. Because a lot of us are going to know, but that's a lot different than, 100 other people who aren't in here that, would see that. Yes, Bad Mom, you are so right. Thank you, Deb. Yeah, it is. I love this ring. It amplifies everything else I'm wearing. And I've got the citrine and the golden obsidian, but it's just not fitting me properly. And it's adjustable, but it's like super hard. Sorry, Donna, I'll get with you in 1 second. It's super hard to adjust. It's very well made. All right, Donna. Suits I'm in cheap lion wannabe. Okay, you have astrals, love, fire, sensuality, and fertility. I can't wait to see where this is going to send us. Thank you, Sir Latro, if you're speaking to me. I actually wore eyeliner and eyeshadow today. Psycho face. Donna. When we love, we can gaze directly into the soul of another human being for a little while. This in-love sensation reminds us of who we can truly be when we connect with our own self-love. We feel complete, adored, and we are open wide to the experience. Energy surges through us. We crave the touch of the beloved. We are, for a time, quite mad. When this card comes to you, the love fire has been lit within you, and you are being asked to allow your own self-love to ignite in return. You are feeling sensual, ready to explore the boundaries of physical sensation, and you wish reality would simply leave you be for a time so you can fully explore this desire. About you is the sensation of fulfillment, satisfaction, and for a time you will live between the worlds while this powerful experience shakes you to your very core. And all the while, this fairy being gazes into your heart, willing you to remember that not only do you love, you are worth loving. Astral's cool green gaze observes the fire within you and will remind you again and again that to love yourself and to love another with all of your heart is a kind of baptism, a blessing, a ritual, and a trial by fire. Passion is your whole world. Let the fire embrace you, purify you, and keep walking through the flames of love. Now, Donna, I know you, I was going to say, I know you're going to laugh and be like, but Gemma, I'm not in love with anybody. I don't want to be with anybody. Okay, but that doesn't mean the universe doesn't have someone coming in for you. So there's twofold on this card here. And I get approval before you start dating. Any woman that wants to be with Donna needs to speak first to Gemma. I have a checklist. Okay, we're not going to go through what we went through last time. You might have someone coming in that shows an interest in you or that you are attracted to in some way. This doesn't have to be physical love. We're not talking always sex here. This is a mutual love for someone that may go beyond something physical. A friendship where you would just lay your life on the line for the other person. Does that sound familiar? Right? I mean, that's been us for the last 12 years. Just totally in love with each other as friends and as women, as strong women who have suffered and who have struggled, right? It's not a romantic thing, even though we take each other to dinner and we have fun. I do think there could be a romantic interest coming in for you. I'm getting emotional. Wow. I don't know if it's really something you're going to like act upon, right? I just feel like there's a mutual respect with someone new that's coming in. You may have some attraction there, but what you do with that is up to you. The main thing I got off this card is self-love. I feel like you don't give yourself enough credits. And you don't trust yourself enough, just like you don't trust enough in the universe. And this isn't a judgment or an indictment because we all go through this. You know, I go through it as well. So I'm not judging you. And this is not my advice. It's your team, your spirit teams. You're not treating yourself well enough that says to the world, like in this way that says to the world, like, I know what I want and I'm going to get it. And nobody's going to treat me badly. While you're still being loving and kind, growing into the person that you were meant to be. You're still working on that. But if you don't give yourself credit, if you don't celebrate the small wins, and if you're constantly picking yourself apart about all the bad things that you did, that's not love. That's criticism. In the next week or two, Donna, my lipstick just stuck to my teeth. In the next week or two, the universe is saying, be much kinder to yourself, right? Celebrate, like really celebrate these small wins. Pat yourself on the back more. Be more confident, even if it borders on being cocky. Just fake it till you make it. You don't have enough love for yourself. The universe wants to see you shine so much brighter than you are. And I feel like the way to do that is to reinforce within yourself that you are beautiful, you are worth it, you are worthy, and you're not bad just because you make, even if they're major mistakes. That is called being a spiritual being, having a human experience. You need to love yourself more and demand that others love you. You have a few people in your life, and I think we all do, that do nothing but use you, manipulate you, and take you for granted. And because you have some good times with these people, you're like, well, it's okay, all the bad things they do and all the negative energy they bring towards me and how they make me feel when they invite me to their house for a weekend and lock themselves in the bathroom the whole time because they're high as a kite and leave me sitting there. It's like you're willing to see past those things in other people, but you're not willing to see past them in yourself. And you're doing much less. Just something to think about. Did you say slow motion? Slow motion, I'm using the Urban Crow. You're welcome, my sweetheart. Jarvis!
By the way, I haven't told her yet, Jarvis. I don't know if you remember the person or not. Glenn Denson used to come in when you were Steve.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, he passed last night.
Oh, geez.
Cancer. So rest in peace. And condolences go out to the families.
Absolutely. Jeez. Latro says, don't be afraid of taking long breaks between relationships. Sort yourself out. Sometimes years for me. You know, I never did that. I never, like, I didn't want to get close enough to me to get to know me. Like, I just need to get to know someone else, one after the other. And I've only had, well, I guess this is a lot, but I've only had 4 serious relationships in my life. But hold on one second, Anna. But now I'm in that space of like, I really want to know who I am. I want to know what I want. I want to seek those things out in an unselfish way. Like, I want to be able to be goofy and silly and not always have to worry about, like, you know, is my partner looking at me like I'm immature or like I'm dumb or, you know, you guys see my shorts. I'm laughing and giggling and doing crazy. I want to do that in real life. And right now I don't feel like I can because I'm not comfortable enough. So Chris Jarvis says, Glenn Dennison passed away. Now, I know the name, but I was also told that Terry Brown had a heart attack and died 2 years ago, and he's alive and well.
No, Glenn, he passed to cancer
last
night. So, yeah. Our respects go out to the family. Condolences.
Latro, you are so right. You develop self-confidence with age. Mark Halstead said that he resonated with Donna's reading. This reading resonates with me as well. I'm going through a transition and I'm trying to learn who I am now. The best. Who's Uncle Bones? What is going on? All right. Slow-mo. Wrath. Good night, Mama. I'll talk to you tomorrow. It's my day with RJ, so I'll probably talk to you more on Sunday, but we speak every day, so I'll talk to you tomorrow one way or another. I love you. Yes, rest in peace, Glenn, and if anybody who knew him personally or was part of his family happens to come in, just know that we're thinking about him and sending lots of love and light to the grieving family and friends. Yeah. It's who we leave behind that suffer, you know? He's perfectly fine and well. I can guarantee it. But I can understand grief in a conceptual way. I'm weird with death. That's why I really don't touch it. I don't touch on it often. So my heart does go out to people who grieve, though. Slow motion. One day I heard the sound of what could have been 100 crows outside of my window. The sky was nearly black, with swarms of angry birds dive bombing the tree outside my apartment. A young raccoon had killed a baby crow. The energy in the air was almost palpable. You could feel the anger of the crows as well as the fear of the raccoon who clung desperately to the tree for dear life. Wrath creates a powerful energy. It can be destructive and can lead you down a path that may strain or cause friction within a relationship. Wrath adds another element to anger, the element of revenge. It's not just enough for the offender to know that you're angry. They must also feel or experience that anger in some way. Wrath asks you to consider the energy that you are creating from your anger. Is it one that will in the end create a positive change in the relationship, or are you creating resentment that fuels the desire for future revenge? Although it may have been a single event that caused the energy of anger to present itself, it is through wrath that the anger mutates and splinters, creating a breakdown in the relationship and even more negative emotions. Now, slow motion, I'm not saying that you're feeling this right now. In the next week or two, though, I feel like you are going to be pushed to your boiling point with a particular person, situation, situationship, relationship. You know the deal, right? Something or someone just galls you. Like, how dare this person? Or, there's something here that's happening. You may not even know what it is right now. Maybe something that's coming in. If you know what it is right now, all the better. Be very, very mindful of your emotional vibration. Okay, slow motion, that's going to be, everyone says like, oh, but you give homework in your streams. This is your homework. The next week or two, be consciously and constantly aware of your emotional vibration, what you're feeling, how you're feeling, and why. Because I do feel like you're going to get to the point where you're going to rage. And that's out of character for you. I don't know you personally, but I'm looking at your energy. I'm seeing what your guides are showing me. That's not really characteristic of you. Even if it was once, it's not now, to like punch somebody in the face for disrespecting you. For some reason, though, and it could be the solar flares and the magnetic energy and coming out of it could be a lot to do with things that are outside of your control and beyond yourself that's causing you to really be very uptight about something and ready to snap. You are like, the way I'm seeing this is like push, 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 boom, right? Don't hold anything in. The minute you start to feel something, especially negative things, let the other person or the other people know. The minute you feel wronged, slighted, or like a certain situation isn't for you anymore, relationship isn't for you anymore, say something. The worst thing you can do in the next week or two is hold it in, whether it be words, emotion, whatever it is, you have to let it out, because otherwise within June, you're going to be like a freaking ticking time bomb. I don't know what that means to you. It could be, I'm also getting, it could be like sadness, lower vibrational, like depressive type feelings as opposed to wrath. So one or the other or both. I don't have to speak. My face says it all. Yeah. Yeah, slow motion, that is what I see. And that's what I'm like, you may not know, but there's definitely, and if you're not feeling that way, there's definitely someone around you who's trying to pull that out of you. They're trying to get you to react in a negative way. I don't think you will. Just be very mindful that someone is playing a game with you. If you ignore it, it will go away. If you respond to it, you're going to want to have like a snap response, right? Like, this mother effer, can't believe they said that. Boop, 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 just for example. And then you put something out there that once you delete it, they still have it. It's out there forever. And now what are you going to do? It made the situation worse. People are looking at you as that guy. Just don't react or respond in anger. And if you're sad or upset, don't hold it in, because you will become like a pressure cooker. All light workers should be listening to this right now. Normally, we're good at that. Putting on a smile, faking it until we make it, trying to blend in. That is not going to cut it in the next 2 months. There's too much with the energy. From April to like October, November even, we cannot put on those facades anymore. They're not going to work. People are going to see right through us, no matter how good we think we are or we are at it. We have to be authentic. That's it. That's all we can be, particularly from now through October into November. And I got your favorite deck here, Angels and Ancestors. Yes, my sister too, Anna, as a matter of fact. Okay, can we not do that? So far, we've had 6 cards pop out. I only need 1, please. Guys, don't forget, this is the last week to order your $20 remote general personal intuitive oracle readings to my PayPal or Cash App. For non-members, non-patrons, it's going up to $40 for July readings, which you will purchase in June. And that money has to go to my PayPal or Cash App. Slow motion, yes, me too. I was a little stunned at pulling that card for you, but it's got to come up for a reason, you know? Medicine Guardian, be open to healing information. I love this card. He's wearing my favorite color, green. Yeah, Edna, listen to what is coming up within you and what's being shared with you by your trustworthy others in your life. Pay attention to healing information. Healing angels can help you heal emotionally, spiritually, and physically with their energy, but they can also direct you towards information that will help you return to wholeness. When this card appears, information is being revealed that can help heal an aspect of your current situation, whether that be your health, relationships, or even your career, so be on alert for this. The Medicine Guardian has a catechist, I think that's how you pronounce that, a healing wand, which represents the capacity to heal with the power of will and desire, and a chalice, which represents returning to a state of wholeness, a state where your cup is no longer full, but overflowing with goodness. The emerald color of the card represents the healing rays of Archangel Raphael and his healing angels. And you are being exposed to information and insights that will have a dramatic healing effect upon your whole life. If you are working through something mentally or emotionally, know that there are spiritual energies supporting your healing. If you are working through something that is physically challenging, pay particular attention to information that's coming to you that feels inspired, insightful, and warm. It'll be supportive of your whole wellness. Your angels are here to remind you that your natural state is one of wholeness, and you are on the road to revealing that wholeness once more. Yeah, right off the bat, baby girl, you know what's up, right? Getting back to wholeness, to your true, authentic self, and giving yourself the credit you deserve, healing the way you deserve to heal. And I feel like getting that out, Aunt Edna, is the first step, right? So now you're going to receive the right sort of healing information, as the card said, because you're being honest about what's ailing you. You stripped away your pride, your ego. Your ego is no longer talking. Now your spirit is speaking. This is what's actually wrong with me. I need help. And that's why this card came up. In the next week or two, listen to the advice you're being given, feel it out, of course, intuitively, see what you feel is right for you, and move forward from there. No more. And I'm not, and you know, as your friend Gemma, of course I'd be saying this to you, but this is not coming from me. Don't hide behind that mask of wellness anymore if that's not how you really feel, because you're never going to get what you need if you're not telling the truth about what it is, right? I understand why you do that. You're so strong and so confident, and you don't want to lose yourself in that. But at the end of the day, the only way to regain that confidence and that wholeness is to be honest about where you are. So I'm glad that you are. I'm sorry that you're sicker than you've made out. Stephen and I have talked about it behind the scenes because we both knew. But you know, that's just who we are. But I would never confront you on that, because that's something you have to come to terms with yourself. But I'm tearing up again because the energy in here is very big and bright and ready to heal you, to give you what you need energetically. And can you back up a little bit, please? Energetically and spiritually, and they're just here to heal. So you have to open up and let them in, and accepting that that's what's going on. No, it's just your team, your energy is very big right now. It's like supercharged to be able to give you what you need. You know, you are going to be just fine as long as you stay open to the healing. Okay. Oh, Bat Mom, every time I cry, you cry. We're like in sync. We're like women with periods in sync, except it's our tears. I start to tear up. Bat Mom's like, I'm crying. Stop. We love you. Well, we knew. We would say it, and I'd be like, he's like, I'm worried about Edna. And I'd be like, I know, but we have to wait until she's willing to, share it.
The crossroads next.
Blue Crossroads says, I have had some prior lethal use of force traumas creep up on me lately. I'm used to dealing with them, but these are being triggered out of the blue. Still okay with dealing with it. Just surprising. I have an idea about what that might be, but let me read your card first. I'm going to use Shaman's Dream. We don't do that though. We are not outers on this channel. It's not what we're about. But I'm really happy that you've done this, that you've said it and that you've accepted it and that you're willing to now accept the help, right? I'm going to take that. It popped out on me. The Net Caster, card number 42, preparations come to fruition. It's that, but it's also like getting, like, when you care for someone and you want to help them and you can't, it causes turmoil not only in your mind and body, but in your spirit as well. And the helplessness that comes with being ghost knows, with being unable to do anything at all about watching someone you care for suffer, will make you have either rage episodes that come out of the blue and totally out of character for you, or it'll shut you down and make you sick, or things like that will happen with your mental health, where things will start triggering you that don't make any sense to you. But really what's triggering you is your helplessness. Hey, Hilton. Saturday morning, eh? Okay. Well, I'm still at Friday night, so welcome to the past. Blue, Netcaster, preparations come to fruition, a surprise, a result beyond expectations. The Netcaster arrives to tell you to stop praying for the fish. They've arrived, and it's time that you cast your net, lest they swim away. But it has been so long since your prayers were answered that you have forgotten how to receive what is being offered to you. Put down the prayer beads and open your arms and your heart to rewards beyond measure. Cast your net. Take the next step that you have been planning for so long. Remember that the fish wait for no one, so time is of the essence. Heaven and earth are in perfect alignment for you to be victorious. The stars are positioned for you to be successful. The only one who can spoil the perfection of this moment is you. Blue, if you ask, do I really deserve this? You will sabotage the magic and shatter the crystalline flawlessness of the now. The Netcaster can also arrive to bring you bad news, to tell you that you have been snared in someone's trap and must wriggle free. Right now, it feels comfortable enough, even as the net begins to tighten around you. That's not what's happening here. Bide your time until all the conditions are right. Go to your place of stillness, of deep quiet, and watch for the signs that a new opportunity has arrived. Right now, you are patient because you feel that things will go your way. Learn to be patient with the people and situations that are more challenging. So, something you've been preparing for is definitely coming to fruition. But if you don't accept that it's happening and you're like questioning it, like, what did I do to deserve this? You know, and I don't mean in a bad way, because I don't feel like this is a net tightening around you. I feel like this is breaking free, right? You're finally seeing some payback for everything you've given to a situation. I also feel like if you're not right this minute, definitely in the next week or two, you're going to be in a really good place spiritually, very aligned. And I feel like with that, you're going to finally start hearing the downloads that are coming in. What do you do next? Instead of sitting stagnant and becoming stale in everything that you do, what can you do next? What is the next right step for you to make? Because I feel like in a few situations in your life right now, you really don't know. So you're kind of just in limbo, waiting to see where you're led. In the next week or two, you will be led somewhere to a point of, all right, cool. So I'm not at my goal yet, but this is definitely something that I need to do to get there, and all is well. There's a surprise opportunity coming in, something that you thought like wasn't on the table anymore. That's going to come back around in the next 2 to 4 weeks, I'd say, within the month, right? By the middle of June, end of June, this surprise opportunity was like, whoa, I wasn't prepared for this. I wasn't expecting it, because I thought that this either wasn't going to happen. Thank you, Aunt Edna. Thank you so much. I thought this either wasn't going to happen at all or wasn't going to happen for a really long time yet. Instead of sitting around being like, well, what just happened and questioning it with your mind blown, act on it immediately because things can change at any moment. Guys, thank you so, so much for donating. If you have it, I really, really do appreciate it. I'm still waiting for contract. I put my resume on a couple of websites and I put, Oracle reader, ghost writer, and script writer. Yeah, I'm getting offers to teach English to students in China and for house cleaning. Not that there's anything wrong with those things, but where did they get that from? From script writing. I'm having a little trouble breathing. The energy here is getting a little bit heavy. I'm going to close my windows and put my AC on, so I'll be right back.
Should be right back. Should we all count it down? And now you are amazing, little lady. Thank you again so much. And I think you know what I meant. Anyways, just so folks know, next will be Darling Deb. Hello, dear. Then after Darling Deb, Life with Bobby. If you're still here, let me know, please. Then after Life with Bobby, Barbie's on my head. Mark H. Mark, you're after Bobby. Okay.
Life with Bobby is a girl. She's not Bob.
I know. I just want to. I just said Bobby because of the name.
Okay. On May 31st, there's a little carnival. I don't really think it's like rides. I think it's like food trucks and bounce houses and stuff at RJ's school. So we're going to go to that. That's a Friday during this time. So we'll figure that out. It's either going to be, we'll do it on Saturday or Thursday. But of course, I will keep you guys posted. We all think Edna is amazing. Jarvis, I don't know what you're talking about, but that sounds really funny. Well, apparently they took down that new portal in Times Square that connected to Dublin because the Irish people were being too nasty and disrespectful.
Oh, it went both ways. There was some girl on there they put a portal. Okay, it's this big round thing that has internet connected to it. It's a camera. And you could see the people standing in front of it in Ireland, and the people in Ireland can see who's standing in front of it in New York. Where it started with a lady in Ireland mooning everybody. And then in New York, some FOF girl went up and started, showing her potatoes, and it just went crazy from there.
I thought you meant I thought you were joking.
No.
And you meant an actual portal. That's why I was laughing. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, it's a real thing. Yes.
Who's next?
Okay. Darling Deb.
We can relate to your determination because we monsters have our motivation. I am the mastermind. Okay. Deb, I'm going to use the Lantern Oracle for you. I don't watch the news. Every once in a while in the morning with Ray, he'll call my attention to something on Newsmax, and I'll sit and watch it for a couple minutes. I can't, because the politics, it makes me want to get on here and rant, and I know that I can't do that because that is not what I want my channel to be about. Even though I think I'll hit 1 million subscribers in like 2 weeks if I were to start putting my pretty extreme political beliefs on here, but I think I would lose some of you guys, so I wouldn't want to risk it. Some people have no manners. Oh, that's not cool. Yeah.
I could really put the crowd in frenzies and put Pop on the camera and just let him go for a half hour. Oh my goodness.
Darling Deb, no, but I really haven't checked my phone since like 5 my time. So if you sent it after that, then no. I did message you last night though, and I haven't heard anything, but if you message me like 4:35-ish or after, I was opening, so I don't use my phone usually at that time. Dude, I want to go crazy so bad. I received something in the mail from my medical insurance that I almost lost it. And I can't, like, because, you know, I value what I do here, but at the same time, I'm livid a lot of the time. All right. Oh, nice. Deb, you got spirit self. Be who you are as you are. No, it's okay. I turned my phone off, or I put it on silent, or I put it in another room. So that's why I didn't hear it. I didn't get it. No worries at all. You guys cannot bother me because my ringer stays off. Now, Deb, Arisha, Tennille, Ghost, and I think Blue all get through that. I don't know I have so many that get through it that sometimes I have to block everybody because it gets to be a lot. The maiden wanders in search of her spirit self, represented in the golden apple she holds. She does not recognize that she already has that which she seeks and continues to look longingly into the distance. To reach the place she desires upon the horizon cannot fulfill her. She will only yet again look longingly into another landscape in the distance. For her to authentically know joy and integrate any external achievement, she must first discover that she contains within her all that she seeks. This is the same for us when we search outside of ourselves for a connection with the truth of who we are. Deb, spirit self, also referred to as higher self, vital force, true north, or spirit, is the inner light within that is never lost or extinguished. To live according to our inner light is challenging. We need encouragement and acceptance to align with and embody our spirit self fully. As we develop into adults, the societal pressures to fit in, conform, and fulfill particular roles present obstacles to attuning to our spirit self. Therefore, we are prone to growing estranged from our spirit self. Feelings of self-alienation commonly ensue and further result in the sense of dissatisfaction and restlessness that can adversely affect all aspects of our lives. Deb, choose to express yourself authentically in an important area of your life. Choosing you in this situation is likely to bring fulfillment and initiate the beginning of you doing the same in other areas of your life as well going forward. This card also signals a time of significant change, achievement, and wonderment to come from living according to your lights. This card heralds a readiness to end any tendency to overvalue external forms of power or influence. Hold this card to your heart as a reminder of your birthright to assert your truth and your personal power. Your spirit self is always available to you and is worth prioritizing. Maiden's message: trust spirit self is the nourishing light that you seek. Deb, what this card is saying is there may be something, what's up, Nomeo, that you feel like you have to have, like that you want in your life to be fulfilled. The universe is saying, now, if we give you that, if you obtain and achieve that, what's going to be the next thing? Because we're human beings. We always want to achieve more. We want to gain more. Like, I know, Vera Ray, hi. I want to know, like, when I get my beach house and I'm at the retreat, what's going to be my next ultimate goal, right? We're always searching and looking, and the universe is saying there's something right now that you want so badly that you have already within you. And I do feel like this is something to do with like unconditional love. I said this to someone earlier, but it's like you're giving and giving and giving this love. And yes, you are receiving love from other people. Of course you are. And I think you're happy in those types of relationships. You know, I don't think you have many enemies or many people that don't, you know, that you have around you that like dislike you or cause discord and chaos. But the problem is you're not giving the same energy that you're giving to everybody else to yourself. You're downplaying yourself. You're putting yourself on the back burner. Well, once I do A, B, and C for this person, that person, and the other one, then maybe I'll have time to do for Deb. That doesn't work, sweetheart. Also, for some reason, and I don't know what this is, I'm seeing validation seeking. The universe is saying, dude. The universe is saying, dude. Yeah. This just came to my mind. Validate yourself. Tell yourself that you are awesome. Like when my books hit #1, I dance around the room and I sing Britney Spears and I jump up and down and I'm like, I look in the mirror and I'm like, you are awesome, right? I no longer look for everyone else to say that. Yes, I put it on YouTube and I know you guys are going to be like, go, congratulations. But if you guys didn't, I would still be okay because I have already validated that aspect, like that part of myself. I'm a great writer. I'm going places and nobody can say anything different. Even if y'all did, I'm okay with me. Probably is. I mean, let's just be real. You have to pay yourself more attention, okay? Not what you can do for others, but what does Deb want? What does Deb need? Not in a selfish way. This doesn't mean like you leave. I'm just using this as an example, like your husband's sick on the floor so that you can go to a club. You know what I'm saying? Like you obviously want to stay and take care of him, but at the same time, people that are not going to stay and take care of you are people you should not be giving any energy to. Deb, in the next week or two, your homework is to give more to yourself. Give yourself more credit. Give yourself more validation. I don't know why I just wanted to say explore yourself. That sounds really strange. But like find out more about you and who you are. Why do you desperately want and or need the things that you feel you do? And once you get to the bottom of that, the universe will start providing those exact things. The universe also wants to know why. Why do you think this is important? Where do your motivations lie? And I feel like that's fine because when you really think about it, you don't have bad motivations. You don't want to get in touch with your abilities so that you harm people. You want to do what I do in a sense and help everyone that you can. But you have to make that clear and evident by the way you treat yourself. Whether you see the connection or not, there is one there. You can never fully give of yourself until you fully give to yourself. I'm just using that as an example, baby girl. Patience, yes. Mark, absolutely. Yeah. Who's next, Mark?
No. Next is Life with Bob. Then we're going to do Mark. Then we're going to do Andrew so he can pass out.
Okay, got it. Life with Bobby, I'm using the Oracle of the Shapeshifter. Why do I feel like the past few weeks we've had much less people? I know it's summer. Like in the summer, we usually have less because people are on vacation, but it's a little early yet. And Deb, that's another thing. You've been so focused on what's going on with your husband, and for good reason, that you really haven't given much attention to yourself and to your abilities and to being able to practice. We are all here to support you. Good night, slow motion. Thank you for coming in. What is it with frogs tonight? What is going on? So Life with Bobby, you got the Frog Princess. Heed wide counsel and listen. Card number 21. And the same. You know what? I work on it now, though, because I want to explore where my strengths are. Where am I best at helping people? Where do I draw the line between like my religion and what I do? Do you know what I'm saying? So I do explore that. Paranormal dude or evil grim. I have many names. Is that Chris? Let me know. Just like playing piano, some take to it naturally. Others must spend more time practicing. I think it depends. Like you didn't grow up knowing you were a natural witch. You didn't grow up knowing that you had this within you. Deb is actually like very, very powerful in her ability. She just hasn't activated yet. So that's kind of what we're working on. Life with Bobby. We often believe we know much more than we truly do. There's always a time when the right thing to acknowledge is, I don't know. There's no shame in that or in having a strong, resilient, and rather undercover advisor who hides her credentials. Your advisor will not necessarily wear a suit or have the robes of a guru, but he or she will be able to clarify things for you right away. At this time, release your attachment to your own intuition. No matter how exalted and wise you are said to be, you must listen to advice from a wise and somewhat unexpected source. Sandra Heath, what's up? No matter how well informed or the Frog Princess speaks. What's up, Smoochy girl? No matter how well-informed or educated I am, I know it always serves me to heed wise counsel. Therefore, I have sent you my own wise advisor, this handsome green frog. People may wonder why you have such a different energy around you, Bobby, when the wise counselor frog visits. This is because you are receiving profound guidance and no longer accept at face value what others are telling you is best to do for you. With his presence, you will be able to see the possible ramifications of the suggestions and advice being given to you by people who are keeping their true motivations secret. Most people do have an agenda, and many times they're not open about what they want. Instead, they'll tell you why what they want you to do is good for you. It's good for them too. And the counselor, Mr. Frog, will, like Merlin to Arthur, tell you what's really going on and offer you truly healthy advice that has your best interest at heart. Look out for the color green and notice if it rains. They are signs that he's with you. When one of my best friends, Billy, call me Mr. Flintstone 1 and 2 in our chat from a couple years ago, when he passed away, I had a frog or a toad, I'm not sure which one, for like 2 weeks that would come into my house every time I opened my screen door. It was a sign. Divination. It's not the time to do what your heart, mind, or any other part of yourself tells you to do. Bobby, it's time to listen to what an established authority has to tell you. No matter how much people try to persuade you that they know best, and no matter how much you believe that, the frog appearing to you here tells you that there is wise counsel around, and it's worth staying quiet, listening to what's suggested by others, and then talking it through with a trusted advisor. No, I screamed and ran and jumped on the table so it didn't get me. It's not the time to think it over yourself because you are missing very important points and there is something you are not seeing clearly. The more you listen, the more productive, healthy, and true your actions will be. It doesn't matter what you think you know. There is more to learn. Listen to wise counsel no matter how important you are. Okay, so life with Bobby, this is actually a really important message, okay? There's something going on in your life that in the next week or two, somebody is, and I think they've been doing this for a while. Like, it's like when somebody, you have a frenemy, right? Your best friend, so quote unquote. And you're like, how does my hair look? You know, you have black hair, it's super short, and then you get extensions and dye your hair blonde. And you're like, how does my hair look? And they're like, ew, that doesn't even look right on you. Like, I'm just telling you as your friend. So you go back to short black hair, and the next thing you know, they have the same blonde hair that you just got rid of. That's summing it up in a very small way. Somebody is giving you the wrong advice just because it better suits them. I don't think you can really see this. You may have an inkling or an idea of who this is. It could be someone you're not even asking for advice and they're just putting their 2 cents in because they know you respect their opinion. For some reason on this matter, they're being very selfish and very spiteful. There is someone around you. It's like the last person you would think that's going to give you the right advice, that's going to tell you what the real, true ulterior motives are of this other person or these other people. You cannot trust just anyone now, Bobby, especially with major decisions, and that includes yourself. In the next week or two, don't be persuaded to take someone else's advice without really, really thinking it through and talking it through with one person that you trust absolutely without a doubt. And if you don't have one person like that in your life, number one, I'm sorry, because everyone should. But number two, talk to your guides, get the downloads, and then make the decision. Somebody here is trying to steer you in the wrong direction for some selfish reason. And I don't feel like it's to like protect you. It has something to do with them. I feel like after you find this out, you're probably not going to want to deal with them anymore. But you have to find out who it is first, and whether or not you confront them or not is on you. But I think the main message here for you, Bobby, is that in the next week or two, don't act on impulse, and even your intuition really can't be trusted because this is someone you trust. They think they have like your best interest at heart, but they don't. They actually don't, and they don't know what they're talking about. Oh, it's so sweet. Who's next? Yeah, Chris, I will definitely get back to you on that. I just got to talk to my showmates. Like I said, I'll probably do that Sunday. Oh, good. I'm glad they broke up. I'm sorry, but people tell me when I wear a certain wig, a certain way that I look like J-Lo. And when they say that, I'm always like, Are you complimenting me? Or like, because I never know, because she's such a horrible human being. So if that's the person you trust, only listen to that person. But I'm telling you, it could end up being that that person is the one who's doing this. They have a reason that maybe at the end of the day will be understandable. I'm sorry, guys. I've got to blow my nose. I had the window open and I should not have done that. Who's next?
Mr. Mark Holstead.
She's pretty to look at, but she's just not a good person on the inside. Her energy is a mess, a whole mess, and she's just not a good person. Yeah. Mark, I'm using the Black Moon Lilith. And I feel like, Bobby, don't like despair over this, right? This is just the universe testing you and giving you a lesson in, yes, she was Nomeo, giving you a lesson in making decisions for yourself and trusting yourself. I don't feel like this is going to, be the end all and be all of a friendship, but I do feel like this person is coming at you with misguided advice for misguided reasons. It is always a test. Yes. In living color. I remember that's the one thing we did as a family. My mom, when my mom and dad were still together, my mom, dad, my sister Carol, and I, we would watch In Living Color every week. That's what this is about. And until you do, you're going to keep being tested in this way. Guys, check these out. So they're black and pink with gold specks, right? I got them in the same thing, but red, blue, or green instead of pink. I can't wait to wear the green ones. Did you really, Sandra? What did you do? Mark, you got dissolution, emotional clearing, card number 34. Yeah, Miss Pixie, that's definitely true. And that's a fair point. I do, like, I'm always taken aback by it, but I have stopped asking for clarification. I just heart the comment and say thank you and just assume that people are being kind. I love that show. Fire Marshal Bill was the best. Mark, after the ego has burned to ashes, you are left with raw, real, and challenging emotions around what has occurred. This is like the feeling you have after your heart has been shattered into pieces by needing to say goodbye to someone who isn't healthy in your life, or the feeling of fear around money and taking care of yourself after you've left that cushy yet miserable job in favor of pursuing your passions. The universe is requiring you to sit with the anger and unpredictability. I'm sorry, it didn't say anger, it said angst and unpredictability when you pull this card in your reading. Processing, purging, and working with your emotions is extremely important during your alchemical journey. When the dissolution card shows up in an oracle reading, it's signaling a time for you to cleanse and wash away emotions that have prevented you from shining your light out into the world. Your frequency and vibration, consisting of thoughts and feelings, emanate from your physical body and create the world around you. When we release limiting emotions like fear, self-doubt, and unworthiness, our magnetism and vibratory manifestation power increase. This is the second phase in alchemy, including the element water and associated with Jupiter, the planet of spiritual growth. In this stage, there's an emotional cleansing of limitations, trauma, outdated patterns, and belief systems. This step cleanses away the ashes that were created from calcination. While this can feel uncomfortable, it's necessary for you to pull back the societal mask and reveal your true self. Dissolution phase shadow work. Draw yourself a purifying bath with sea salt crystals of your choice. Allow yourself to soak and meditate on this part of your inner transformation. You are cleansing your unconscious mind. Sink into the deep waters of your soul to find the answers. So, yeah, Mark, I feel like this is like just one more stage, and everything that you've been doing on your spiritual journey, right? So this is you. Oh my gosh, my nose. Yes, I was just going to say that, getting to that point that you were saying where you're just letting it all go, because you're more than keenly aware right now where your spiritual goals are set, right? And how far you're willing to go to meet them. You're on this amazing, incredible spiritual journey. And I'm so proud of how quickly you've progressed and how quickly you've caught on. And you're just so accepting, your patience level and just who you are as a human being. I've seen you transform before my very eyes from amazing to even more amazing. This is the next to final stage in that. This is releasing all trauma, all toxicity, and sitting in your emotions. When you're feeling angry, why? And releasing it and knowing how to do that the right way. I don't think this is a surprise for you. I feel like this is something that you knew was coming. I feel like this is just the universe saying, it's time to get on this. We've got a schedule to keep, right? Even though the universe runs on a universal timeline, an eternal timeline. It's time for you to start letting go of all the trauma and negative emotions and put yourself in a higher emotional frequency where you're vibrating high physically, spiritually, psychically, maybe even mentally. But emotionally, you have to catch up because I feel like you are holding on to some trauma. And there could have been some trauma bonding that you had to break free from. Absolutely, it's ongoing. And I feel like the universe is either acknowledging you, like, we see you, you're doing this, you're doing amazing, or telling you, now's the time. If you've been waiting for the right moment or for some sort of sign to start with this trauma dumping, I would call it, now is the time. If you're already doing it, this is the universe backing you up and saying, you're awesome, keep going, great job. Who's next?
We're going to go ahead and do Andrew so he can crash when he's ready to. And he can just
Vera,
enjoy.
I'm sorry, Stephen, go ahead.
Just saying so he can enjoy his night a little bit. I thought it'd be nice. I know he's on the road a lot, so.
All right. Vera, I think you might be right. I think the reason low number of people here, maybe graduations are taking place in many places. I know SOR was doing something either last week or the week before. This is why I always chose Wednesdays, but unfortunately, I can't do Wednesdays anymore. So
yeah, look at private chat when you get a chance.
Okay. It's just pretty frustrating when I've been doing this stream for a while and now people decide that they're going to start streaming on Fridays. I think it's funny that you just referred to her as Huntress. I can't. Nomeo. Let's do Halloween. It's Saturday. You're so right, Hilton. You're welcome, Mark. Misbehaving.
Look at private chat again. Hello, daughter of mine. I've been meaning to get a hold of you, so I'm glad you popped in.
What's up, girl? I think just with the warmer weather too, I'm just going to have to accept. I'm getting a lot of after, and it works for me because I get done earlier than 11:30. I just want to make sure that my base isn't dipping because I've been gaining so many subscribers every month since I started doing shorts. Nomeo, you got the card of midnight, the most magical hour of all. Love when I turn right to it. The dark, it envelops me. The witching hour awaits. True magic and enchantment and spells that change the fates. The middle of the night, midnight, is the hour in which it's believed that ghosts, witches, ghouls, and magic are most likely to be active. Transition times, such as noon, the time between tides, or even dark moon, are traditionally powerful times for magical transformations. In some Christian traditions, the witching hour is seen as 3 a.m. because it's the opposite of the time that Jesus is said to have died at 3 p.m. But there is some consensus that midnight is the time of greatest magic, particularly around Halloween time. As soon as the clock strikes midnight on Halloween, it's said that the spirits flow forward through the veil and, if benevolent, bring positive messages. If not so benevolent, they are mischievous and play tricks at best, or at worst cause havoc. Allow yourself, Nomio, to relax into the benevolent darkness of midnight. You may feel this is your darkest hour, but know that the light will return again. The dawn always follows the darkest night. Know, too, that it's important to recognize that we all have darkness within us, just as we have light, and this isn't something to hide from. So, Nomio, you could be kind of dealing with, Kazu, I see you, give me a second. You could be kind of dealing with some issues like regulating your emotions, getting overwhelmed more easily than normally you would, or getting like snap angry when normally you're really chill, right? I can't imagine you angry. You're my Nomio. But I do feel like there's something here that you're just having a really hard time coming to terms with, right? I don't know what it is. I really can't get a feel on it, but the universe is saying, just like midnight is a time of transition, your life is in a time of transition right now. I feel like you're thinking about things you want in your future and how that pertains to what you do for a living. But if you don't do that for a living, then how are you going to make a living to get the things and do the things you want for the future, right? I hate blowing my nose on camera. I'm so sorry. And it's here. It's stuffed. It's stuffed. I'll be right back. I'm sorry. Andrew, hold out for one.
I don't even have my mic on. Hello. Hi, everybody. So next will be after Nut Slap is Miss Pixie. And then we'll do Chris Jarvis if you're still around, sir. And now I'm the big screen and she's the little mom.
All right, let me finish this reading real quick. You're in a time of transition. You're in a time of change. You're in a time of really in the essence of figuring things out. But that can be really frustrating. And I think it is going to be, especially in the next week or two with the energy from the flares and all of the magnetism, our psychic magnetism is getting messed up. We're coming out of the eclipse and the retrograde and the shadow and then bam, into the bursts. And you're really trying to figure life out, and it may be frustrating for you, but this is the universe saying, like, we all go through times of transition. The universe itself transitions. So if you can keep it positive, right, and be honest about what it is you want compared to what it is you're doing and how you're going to get there, the universe will bounce that same energy back to you, that positivity, and give you the wherewithal to be able to figure things out going forward much more easily and without all this turmoil. Now, Chris, yeah, I know. I didn't have allergies until I turned 40, so I guess I'm old now. Christina Haywood, welcome. I'm glad you stopped in. Let us know if you have to leave early so I can make sure. Well, actually, you're new, so you'll get a reading quicker. Guys, that's my cousin, and I'm not going to give her personal stuff away, but I asked her to come in because she's dealing with a lot of the same stuff I am. So if you guys, a lot of you know what I'm going through personally. That is my baby cousin, even though she's not a baby, but and she's going through a lot of the same stuff. And I told her that if she came in here, she would have a whole bunch of people who would take her under their wing and help guide her and protect her and listen to her. So here she is. And she is my blood cousin. We are actually blood related. She's my mom's brother's daughter. I love you too. Yeah, I'm so gorgeous. I'm like, listen to my nose, guys. I have a full beard for the last few months. Blue can be a witness. I don't believe it. Pictures or it didn't happen. Who's next?
Well, that mug hide. Miss Pixie.
I'm bringing that to track and field day. You can bet on that. Miss Pixie. Oh, no, don't fall. Please don't fall. For the love of dragons. All right, Christina, we'll read for you next, okay? Let me get Pixie off the table, and then we'll do yours.
Yeah, I don't think Chris will mind. He'll beat me up later. I just hope he doesn't try to milk me.
Gerbil milking. All right, Miss Lara, you got the brat. So it's me. Card number 30. Some days you're just going to wake up with a dragon in your teacup and your mouth will taste of scales and wings all day long. But whether it's you or your mini dragon that's feeling bratty, it's in your best interest to befriend rather than resist the brat attack. Moods and emotions, just like dragons, are by their nature full of movement. They're not intended to stick around for very long and don't unless we resist them. As the saying goes, what we resist persists. So whether it's showing up in you or in someone else, let the brat have its moment today. All things must pass and no brat attack lasts forever. Miss Pixie, you are going to be feeling a bit out of sorts if you're not already in the next week or two. I feel like it's coming from a good place, though. I feel like you're feeling either successful or you're just feeling like good about yourself. The universe is kind of saying, like, don't let that transform into like cockiness, right? And I don't see that happening with you. So there has to be something here. I told you, Christina, something here that may have you acting out of your character, a little bratty, a little more maybe needy than usual. And the universe is saying, you know what, Lara, just embrace it, right? Let it pass, let it flow through you. Let the people around you deal just like you deal with their brat attacks. There's nothing bad here. There's nothing sinister. It's just you going through a moment, having a moment. And instead of trying to pretend like you're not having it, acting it out, being in it and working through it and working with it and letting everyone around you deal in whatever way that they can. Remember, mind over matter. Those who mind don't matter. Those who matter don't mind. Meaning, whoever is there through it with you, that means they really care, you know, and they're accepting that you don't always have to be kind all the time. You know, we have the right to righteous anger. And I think that's where people get me wrong. Because I hear in the comments all the time, like, oh, yeah, well, you know, people get angry. Yeah, I know that, but it's what you do with it, right? I'm not saying don't get angry. I'm not saying if someone punches you in the face to turn the other cheek, right? I'm not Jesus. What I am saying is think before you react. For you, though, this is just saying, like, look, deal with what's going on. Be true to yourself, even if your authentic self at this time is a spoiled little brat kicking and screaming, finally fed up and telling people exactly where they can go and exactly where they can shove certain things. It's only going to last about a week or two. You'll be back to your normal self, and all of your real friends and loved ones will be here when it ends. And honestly, I'm kind of laughing because it's like finally Lara's fed up, and finally Lara is going to stand up for herself. So you don't have to be unkind. When people are rude to me, I love making them uncomfortable. Someone came into my one of my shorts in the comments and said I was singing. It had nothing to do with anything or acting out a skit. And the person said, why don't you try finding a makeup that actually matches your face? And it was a guy. And it was funny because a week earlier, I had gone to Sephora and I had them match me. So I knew, like, it was the lighting. Either way, it had nothing to do with how I looked or my makeup. So I wrote in the comments, I said, oh, I'm sorry. I said, I really wasn't asking for advice on how I look. And actually, I guess your parents never taught you and you weren't raised with the knowledge that it's really rude to comment on someone's appearance, particularly a woman, when she wasn't asking. So I don't know if you meant it or not, but that was pretty rude. I guess you just weren't raised with that knowledge. And the person never said anything again and never came back in and never went back at me because I made them uncomfortable. I made them look at themselves. And I feel like that's what you're doing. Yeah, Miss Pixie, roll with it. There's nothing wrong with that. Christina, this is you, babe. We're going to use the Alice in Wonderland Oracle. Yeah, put that out, Dad. You yell at me. Uh-oh, she's getting them. Uh-huh. Gotcha.
Now, wait a minute. You're the one that started out real quick. But anyways, dear, I will call you this tomorrow if everything's okay. Just let me know. We do need to talk. You're in trouble.
Oh, really? That's awesome. I would love one.
Public.
I feel like we're missing Mama Cindy. We're missing like some regulars. Like Raymond hasn't been here in a while.
In and out of the hospital with family a lot lately.
That's right. That's right. You did say that. If we could timestamp her, if we have time tonight.
Are you going to do
all right, Christine?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I should have said this out loud. I should have said it out loud because I said I'm going to use Queen Maeve. And her team was like, no, Alice in Wonderland. And I said, what is it going to be? Never Jam Today? I knew it. I knew it. This card was coming out. I should have said it in chat. Christina, the card you just pulled, I have 220 something decks. There is one card that explains my situation 100 million% that I resonate with every time I read it, no matter what the message is. And I just got done telling you today that we are going through basically the exact same thing, and you pulled the dang card. Out of 220 something decks, between 50 and 90 cards per deck, you pulled this one. I can't. You got it in the upright position. Alice couldn't help laughing as she said, I don't want you to hire me, and I don't care for jam. It's very good jam, said the queen. Well, I don't want any today anyway. You couldn't have it if you did want it, the queen said. The rule is jam tomorrow and jam yesterday, but never jam today. This is my card. When the White Queen makes her outrageous statement that jam is for tomorrow and for yesterday, but never for today, Alice realizes that no one's ever going to get any jam. When this card comes to you, what can it mean? Well, it's likely that someone is making promises that sound like there's plenty on offer, when in fact, it's extremely unlikely they'll ever deliver and come through with all of the wonderful things they're trying to attract you with. Future faking. You see, when this card comes, someone is claiming they can do a lot of good for you, but whether they're offering a pay rise, a good time, or a commitment, it is never going to happen. It's not meant to be. The promise is never ever delivered or enjoyed today. They exist on promises of a better future and memories of a wonderful past, but they will never make good on their promises when it most counts. And that's today, right now. Fortunately, Alice isn't at all attracted to the offerings of the White Queen. She literally doesn't want the jam, so she can't be manipulated. But those who do want the jam could forever be living in the hope that one day they'll get some jam. The fact is, this will never, ever happen. Listen to the person making you some rather wonderful promises or boasting about how much they can offer others. When will they deliver? Are they always talking about the past and planning for a future, but struggling always in the present? If so, it's best to be like Alice and have no desire for promises which will never be fulfilled. Words are plentiful, but deeds are few. Thinking that the past and the future are better than the present. Being attracted by promises of good times and abundance that aren't ever going to be kept. Boasting of plenty, but never enjoying it in the moment. Manipulation and withholding. Demand results in the present and work towards satisfying your desires yourself. Do not buy what they are selling. Christina. Jam is for yesterday and for tomorrow. So when tomorrow comes, today will be yesterday, and then it'll be tomorrow. There's never a today. What the White Queen is promising is never on display for today. This is probably a narcissist, a toxic person, a gross human being, someone I've never met, but the energy is like, makes me want to vomit. This is I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. But they never do what they're going to do. And then when you ask them, like, hey, 3 years ago, you said you were going to XYZ. You're the nut job. You're always dwelling on the past. You're the problem. Or they'll say, yeah, but remember how good it used to be? Think about the good times. Who planned them? Who paid for them? Maybe in the beginning it was really good. This is narcissistic manipulation at its finest. I feel very passionately. Every time I draw this card, I get extremely emotional, I get upset, and I get angry. Christina, the message of this card is like, it's best not to buy in, right? It's best to do everything you can. Yeah, Blue Crossroads for sure. To do everything you can to not be sucked into this. Don't like distract yourself with things. Try to build yourself up like we talked about today, and we can continue working through that. We can get together at Teresa's, or we can meet up and we can spend nights together and we can hang out with the kids, and I can help you through like I help my other gemstones, right? And I learn as I go. Whoa, that was weird. So this is detaching yourself from that, the breadcrumbing, right? When you're like finally ready to leave and you've had enough, you see that spark, that one thing they do that shows you that, yeah, they're going to change this time. And then the minute you're back on board and you're not leaving anymore, they turn right back into the poop head that they were. That's called breadcrumbing. Christina, the only thing I can say is to try to come to an understanding, like come to terms with the fact that this person never was who they said they were. And the whole relationship was basically one manipulation tactic after another so that they can get supply from you. We have to figure out a way for you to no longer be supply. I don't have much more to say publicly, but I will speak to you in private. The fact that you pulled this card out of thousands really, it pisses me off. Because you're my family and you are my baby cousin, but also because this energy makes me mad. This person is lying all of the time, basically about everything. And not all narcissists do that. I'm not saying I'm going through every single thing. I'm just saying this card resonates, right? I've either gone through it or I'm going through it. I don't want to talk badly about anyone in my life right now or put too much out there publicly. I have at least in the past gone through this. You have to come to terms with the fact that it's a lie and that you deserve better and you deserve everything that this person was promising, but you deserve to have it and actually be given it by someone who means to do just that. And we're going to talk about how you can do that privately. Divine empathic. Yeah, man, poop head. You poopy poop head.
Yeah, I can be a poop head. Anyways, next is Mr. Jarvis.
Everything is on Jive Creations on Facebook now.
I was going to ask that.
Or if you want something and you don't have Facebook, you can contact me and I'll get through to Arisha, or you can contact Ghostdragonzw.
Either one's fine.
Miss Pixie, thank you. Christina, you're probably cooking dinner, but I'll tell you where your timestamp is. Miss Pixie said, we are here for you like we are for each other, right, folks? And I guarantee you, everyone in here that sees that is going to say yes. I told her to come in tonight because I know she usually listens in the background, but I told her to come in because it hurts me to see that happening, like what she's going through. And, you know, she needs a team behind her. And I knew you guys would be just that. So absolutely. Yep. Yeah, they are. Divine, it may be better to go through me. I know she's not changing designs, but if you want like a little something added to the sleeve, or she also did a shirt for my mom of my Midnight Visitors book cover, she can do things like that too. And she does things that aren't Gemma Jade. So my cousin also does that kind of stuff. So she's making me a cup and I'm going to use it on stream and send you guys over there, not for my merchandise, but for homemade merch and memories and things like that. So who's next?
Chris is next. While you're doing Chris, I'm going to go back real quick and get the timestamp for her.
Yeah, please. I'd appreciate it. Blue Crossroads, you're absolutely right. It's in their DNA. No matter what they say or how they are acting, the DNA is going to kick in and you're right back to the pain, period. The best way I can describe it, that I've been able to describe these types of relationships, and then I'm going to get off it because I don't want to like make this whole show about it, but it's important she hears this. And some of you guys need to hear this too, and I needed to hear it. I saw a YouTuber, TikToker, Instagram influencer that I watch. She does, you know, she's a narcissistic abuse survivor. She had the narcissist there and she was sitting there, and the narcissist had a loaf of bread. And the narcissist said, I'm going to give you this whole loaf of bread. and all I want in return is your whole soul. And the girl said, well, that seems pretty fair. That's a lot of bread. Yeah. So she takes it. She's like, you can have my whole soul. Then over time, she's getting half a loaf of bread, but the narcissist still wants her whole soul. So she takes it. She's like, you know what? That's still a lot of bread. You can have my whole soul. The next thing she knows, she's getting one slice of bread. And she's like, you know what? I'm really tired. I don't know if I can give you my whole soul. And the narcissist goes to take the bread back. And she's like, no, I'll take it. The narcissist goes, oh, now you're being ungrateful. And she goes, no, I'll take it. She's like, and you can have my whole soul. Next thing she knows, she's getting a crumb. And she's like, oh my God, I'm getting something. You're giving me something. And she takes the crumb. Bare minimum becomes everything. It becomes the highlight of your life, when really it's the bare minimum that a regular person would be doing, giving you a crumb of bread. Bare minimum would be the loaf. But you're just so happy to receive that tiny bit of attention, that little bit of affection, when really in reality you should be being loved like the beautiful being that you are. And I've never seen a more profound short about narcissism than that one with the loaf of bread. I watch it constantly and I'm like, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense. I'm sorry, you said Jarvis was next. Yes. Jarvis, wisdom of the house of night. I also think my cousin may have people around, so she may not be able to really watch this right now. Her son's name is RJ too, but it's not Raymond J. Yes. Yep. Stockholm syndrome. I was talking to her earlier and I said that same thing. I said, it's like that thing where the patients fall in love with the nurses or the nurses fall in love. What is it called? I couldn't think of the name. I literally compared it to that too. And it's like they train you not to bring it up anymore because, if you bring it up, either you're going to, get into a fight or they're going to ignore it. It's like, it's not going to change anything. So why bring it up? But over time, it's like, you're not talking about anything that you feel. You're not talking about any of your wants. Christine, I said that. That's perfectly okay. If you look in the comments or
I'm going to have to wait and get a proper time stamp after the show because all it will give me is negative numbers in the other way. So,
okay, that's fine. Christine, if you come back after the show, you'll get your reading. I kind of freaked out a little bit about your reading. So watch it when you're alone and when you're able to. After the show, in the comments, there will be your name and it'll be a time. Just click on it and it'll bring you right to your reading. We just can't do it right now because we're still in the middle of the show. You're going to need to watch it. I freaked this is your card, so you know what to look for. And like I said, I'm going to give you a full personal. That's also something you should watch when you're by yourself. We did skip Nut Slap,
Yes, we did because I forgot about you. Wait,
Christina. Didn't I read for Nut Slap though? Because I was like, oh, Nut Slap. I've got to say his name in the comments.
Yeah, I think you read right before Christina.
No, Pixie, right? Nomeo, Mark,
okay,
Deb, someone at Blue Crossroads, Aunt Edna, Slow Motion.
No, we didn't. So we'll do him right after Chris.
All right, Nuts Up, you're next, honey. Chris, Munchy Chipmunk is here. So Christina, after I end, make sure you look in the comments, and when you have a good 10 minutes, listen to your reading, okay? I figured you had to hop off because of dinner or, whatever. All right, Jarvis, you got the card of understanding, card number 43. Sandra Heath, it's good to see you. I think I saw you. It might have been Facebook or maybe it was in my comment, but I've seen your name recently. And I was thinking about you. Chris, this is a symbol for deep and true comprehension. It is one thing to read something or to hear something, but it's another thing to truly understand something. You are being asked to keep an open mind and heart and to allow yourself to absorb information as you receive it. Be open to the wisdom that can come only with time, patience, and perspective. Try to get outside of yourself and imagine what it's like to walk in someone else's shoes. To understand is to have power. So, facts. So, Chris, I don't see anything really crazy going on right now. I just kind of feel like there's something that's going on with you that, just like so many of us, we're not understanding why we have to deal with it, right? So there's something here that you're like, and if you don't know what it is, you know me, you will in the next week or two. You're like, gosh, like, what more do I need to learn from this? Like, I've learned everything. I'm ready to move on from this painful lesson that I keep having to relive over and over. Now, this could be something emotionally. It could be a back and forth relationship where you keep getting hurt. There's something here that is so repetitive. And the universe is saying, here is the secret. Here's how you pull yourself out of this repetitive situation. Step outside of yourself and look from the outside looking in. What advice would you give to, your best friend, the person you care most about in the world in this situation? But the trick is you then have to take that advice. Because right now, whatever this is, yes, you've learned a lot and you've learned a lot from it. You've grown a lot through it. But I don't think so, Christina. But you're still not getting to the bottom of it. And another thing I'm hearing right now, and it's actually very loud, is like, this isn't about you. Maybe this is about another person and you're just kind of stuck in the loop of them having to learn something. So be patient, be kind, be understanding, and you will get through this. And I'm seeing the way they're showing it to me is like 3-4 months tops. You'll be out of this situation one way or another. No more repetitive cycle. Again, whether it's something with your physical health or something, mentally or spiritually that you're going through. Okay. Yeah. Christina, I don't know. Stop back in at like 10, I think probably 10:30. I should be ending, maybe earlier than that. But as soon as it's done, your stamp will be in the comment section. So, either way, whether I see you back on here or whether you get your reading and you can text me or whatever, if I'm sleeping or in bed, I'll just text you back tomorrow. It's really important you get this.
Yeah, so just give me a couple seconds to find it.
Yeah, I know it'll take like a minute or two, but I end when there's no one to read for, so I really don't know, but usually it's like 10:30-ish. Sometimes I'll laugh because it's like, oh my God, Gemma said that 2 weeks ago. Yeah, you're welcome, Jarvis. Thank you. All right, Sir Nut Slap. Let's use the Vampire Oracle. Oh, that just, I probably got turned off on me, but I just remembered that Interview with the Vampire season 2 has finally aired. On Mother's Day was the first episode on AMC. And I'm pretty sure 2 weeks ago I canceled AMC because I'm like, why do I have AMC? This doesn't even make sense. I don't even watch it. And now finally, after 2.5 years, Interview with the Vampire is back on. I'm telling you, it's not conceit because it's not me giving the messages, right? It's spirit. That's how I know that I'm going to be right. I know that what I'm saying is right. And I know that what I'm saying will happen. I'm absolutely positive of it. I'm sure of it. And I'd stake my reputation on it, which is why I tell you guys, I never miss. That's not conceit or cockiness. I say I never miss because it's not me. It's not my humanness that's giving the advice. Did you see it? Was it amazing? No spoilers. Nice. I have the fire sticks. I have fire sticks in every room, which is fine. The thing is, I had to cut back a little bit and I didn't realize how much I was paying for that we're not using. But now that I know, like I only get Hulu for Handmaid's Tale and American Horror Story, which neither one have episodes right now. So maybe I'll get rid of Hulu and pay for AMC instead. I've got to switch it up. I've got a birthday party to plan. I've got presents to buy, and I've got a day camp to pay for, all within the next, RJ only has like 20 more days of school. I have no plan. Nut slap, you got compassion, empathy, simpatico, and kindness. Card number 14. The vampires speak. There are times in our life when circumstances and people and what we see have a certain horror to them. It is the horror of being unable to believe that there is such cruelty and malice and injustice in the world. Each day, if we allow ourselves, we expose our minds and our hearts and energies to events that hold enough tragedy within them for us to suffer pain on behalf of other humans, animals, and all of the fellow creatures we share this planet with. We children of the night know this suffering too, and sometimes cannot bear to stand it a moment longer. We have no more forbearance at times, and this is when we step forward and carry those who are suffering so very deeply. Within the card are elements of your great beliefs, your beautiful Christ, God made flesh, at his moment of being taken down from the cross, at that moment released from suffering. In this way, we want you to know that all suffering you see, not slap, all the hardship you could observe is unendurable for us too. So we must step forward, and even God does not refuse to help, even when it comes from one who many would claim to be the opposite of all they consider to be good. When this card appears to you, know that even the unlikeliest hearts hold compassion, and sometimes they cannot bear the suffering about them any more than you can. And they become an ally, comforting those who have fallen, who are unable to rise and take steps towards the rebirth of their own life. This deep compassion means they will refuse to take comfort or exit their lives of hardship because they know that where they are, they can do most good. And there is much good within us, and so much good within you. If you have fallen, you will be caught up in strong arms and helped and tenderly nurtured. You will be treated with respect, although at this time you may be unconscious of this fact. And the one who will gather you up when you have unraveled, when you are fallen, is not the one you thought would be the one to come to your aid. Nutslap, the blessing. This is an opportunity to change your mind about who is compassion within their heart and who is a caring being. For the great nurturing tenderness and yearning to ease the misery in the world through being kind to you at this time will come through an unexpected source. And there is great goodness in their act, although you may never have thought of them as one or the kind who cares. Curse, you may fear that accepting help will mean you are judged as weak. When you accept the help that will be offered, you will become stronger, and it is that strength that will be seen most clearly. In working with this card could also herald a time when you seek to do volunteer work, help others in unexpected situations, and become in some way the embodiment of the holy human expression that is the most beautiful compassion. Christina, you got to just not deal with it. Yeah, I don't know how else to explain it except to say that eventually you form bonds with people and they're really uplifting. So when people talk poop to me, it really rolls right off my shoulder. I don't care, because when someone leaves a comment, YouTube doesn't care if it's a positive or negative comment. It's interaction. I get paid. So, I mean, not a lot. I get a few cents, but still, they're like, you're contributing to my bag. You have to think of it that way. It's like, you don't know these people. You'll never, ever see them. And they can say whatever they want to you. But you don't have to take on what they say. It's not easy. It's very, very hard. And it took me years to be able to do that. And I still get pissed off sometimes. Nutslap, there's something going on here in your life. And I feel like you are feeling kind of lost. So it's like you don't know what to do next. You know where you want to go and where you think you need to go, but you just are tired of trying to figure out how to get there, right? Like, what do I have to do to get myself out of this, toxic situation, this negative environment, whatever it is that you feel stuck, stale, stagnant in, that's dead, done, and over with, that you feel like you cannot move on from. In the next 2 weeks, somebody is going to offer you some either some help or some helpful advice. Like, yo, I've been there and here's what I did. And you start thinking that advice, is something that you can actually do to get out of the situation or change it at least for the better until you can get out of it. But you're not going to want to trust this person because for some reason you're not vibing with them. The message of this card is trust in the goodness of people. Even if someone has wronged you before, be the big enough person to accept their help, which is in its own right a form of an apology. What do I always say? Forgiveness it never has to equal reconciliation. But in this case, I feel like if you would just let your guard down a little bit, help will come in the unlikeliest form in the next couple of weeks. I can't for sure say 2, because what they're showing me is boom, 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 which is usually 4, which is a month. So I would say in the next 2 weeks to a month, it's like, oh man, I can't stand that freaking person. And then like you break down on the side of the road and that person drives by and gives you a hand, right? And it's the last person in the world you want to accept help from or that you thought would help you in the first place. But yet there they are. Are you going to let them extend the olive branch and be a good human being? Or are you going to sit in your grudge and hold it against them, something they did back when you were second? Am I back? Hey, John P. Hey, Netter. Looking great. I might pop the wig off, put my ponytail back in. Who's next?
Hilton.
Sir Hilton.
I'm going to use
gentle creatures. You're welcome. Yeah, I saw that. I saw it. It always freezes on like the grossest face. Why can't it freeze when I'm like, I guess that would be psycho. I did have a great Mother's Day. Thank you. Everyone was so awesome on Mother's Day. All right, Hilton. Beacon, not bacon, beacon. I know my gemstones. Y'all are like, bacon where? Hilton, 3 creatures brave the rising water to make sure everyone has been alerted. They stand back to back, knowing that together they can be a brighter beacon than alone. Their patience is rewarded by one lost straggler finally finding its way home. Had they not stood there under that stormy sky, the bird might have been lost. Their lesson here is that when things look dark, find friends who believe as you do. Then do the work necessary to make sure all are safe. Without the sturdy feeling of each other, this trio might have given up. It's not easy to hold your ground when angry clouds loom and the water is surging. A question for you to think about here is, what must I stand up for and who will stand with me? You can be a better beacon knowing that others have your back. Don't despair if you're feeling lost. Look for those who brighten up your life. Hilton, spend time with positive people. And I feel like you may not even realize the reason that you either are in a funk or when you go into a funk in the next week or two, because if you're not already feeling it, you definitely will be. The reason is because the people that you're surrounding yourself with are just very negative, maybe even a little bit toxic. But I feel like you've become so used to it that you don't see these particular people in that way. Now, this doesn't have to be someone that, or people, either one person or people that you even hang around with a lot of the time, but they are going to be around you in the next week or two. Okay. And I feel like it could bring your energy down, your happiness down, your vibration down. And you're like, why the hell am I feeling like this? Like, I was so happy a week ago. I was feeling good. I was pumped. Everybody, this is for everybody. Mind the people that you have around you, because there are people who will either purposefully or inadvertently, without even knowing it, feed off of you. Energetic vampirism is real. Psychic vampirism is real, guys. And we may not even realize we're hanging around toxic people. Find like-minded individuals. And you know what? If you can't in real life, get online. Pop in here. You know the Gemstone crew. Like, we're so accepting of everyone. Everyone loves this stream, and I'm so proud of it. But do not let other people bring you down. Their thoughts, their ideas, their ideals are not congruent to yours. So what are you even doing with them? You're not even vibrating on the same level. You're higher, which is why they're sucking you dry and bringing you down. Watch who you have around you and watch the advice you listen to in the next 2 weeks. Christina, I hope so. We have a long way to go, but you're going to be fine. There are just some things that I feel like we need to talk about so that it can click for you. Because once it clicks, there's no unclicking. It's always the knowledge of what's really going on is always going to be there. And that's when the seeds are planted that you can start becoming that woman who knows she deserves better and can move on. I love you too, sweetie. I just want to see you be happy. We've all had, pretty hard lives in our family, especially us cousins. And we all have to get past it and move through it into adulthood and just be better people, women in particular. You're welcome, Hilton. Who's next?
Smoochie.
Smoochie girl, I'm using the witching hour. She said, don't make me smack you, ghost. It works. Guys, after this, I'm going to go and grab a Red Bull and go pee-pee real quick. So don't go anywhere. If you're waiting for a reading, I'll be back in less than 5 minutes.
Smoochie, you're now, sweetie.
Yeah, Smooch, good timing. Cast the circle, raising vibrations, card number 18. Smoochie. Raising vibration, sacred space, taking the extra step, as in, don't skip that step. The tarot companion is a 7 of Pentacles. Casting a circle is a necessary step of spell work. This practice is how a witch guards their magic, protecting them from outside influences that would rather not see them succeed. But the circle also amplifies a witch's power. It's a container that acts like a battery, giving you the energy you need to see real results. Casting a circle is a step that should not be avoided. This card is guiding you to do things the right way. Smoochie, avoid cutting corners and follow the established order of things. You may be anxious and seeking ways to skip ahead of the hard work or shorten the amount of time you need to succeed, but doing so will hurt you in the end. Essentially, this is a measure twice and cut once card that ensures you have what you need before getting started. You may require additional resources or skills or should consider to continue learning. Taking these extra steps will help ensure you are properly prepared for the goals you are about to partake in. If your reading is about relationships, receiving this card is a sign that you should not push the other person at this time. Patience, compassion, and understanding will benefit you greatly in the long term. Start back at the beginning. You have missed critical steps or overlooked necessary skills needed before you can move forward with your plans. Do not take shortcuts, Smoochie. I mean, that is the main lesson here. Make sure you put everything you have into every step and phase of whatever this is that you're doing. And I feel like it could become like really super duper tedious, right? Like, it's cutting corners, it's get rich quick schemes, it's things that make sense in the moment, but when you look back on them, you're like, shoot, that wouldn't have been so hard if I had only done that. I don't think this is about higher education. I feel like you want to achieve something, you want to obtain and or attain something, and you know how to get there, but it's like you can take the quick way and possibly have it happen, or you can take every step and put everything you have into every step and know for sure it's going to happen, but it's going to take longer. The universe is saying there are no shortcuts here. And if you're offered one, it is not really a shortcut. It's going to actually set you back and bring you back to the beginning where you're going to have to start all over again. No taking the easy way out in whatever this is. Play through the pain, grow through what you go through, feel your feelings and work through it. Guys, I will be right back. Do not leave. I'll be right back.
Yes, don't leave. Don't leave. I hope everybody's well. Next will be Vera Ray. Vera, are you still here, hon? Let me know that you're still here, please. You're next. Then after Vera, paranormal dude, are you still here? Do you want a reading? Then Sandra, you will be it within those three. So those are the next three. Then my daughter, then Divine, then Munchie Chipmunk, and that's close to it. So we're almost done. I think she's got I don't know if she's doing KC or not, so we'll just go from there. I figured you were still here. Yes, you are still here, Vera. Thank you. Yes, you are next, Vera. Paranormal dude, if you're still here, you want a reading, please speak up, or I'll just let the two ladies go next. Yes, Smoochie, get some rest, relax a little bit, let your brain chill for a bit. You've been through a lot today. Go curl up with Sasquatch for a little bit. Chill out. Let your mind relax. I hope everybody's having a good week so far. Hope you all have a good weekend. As far as I know, I will be here tomorrow night. Yeah, I figured you were driving, hon. Don't drive and text. Get you in trouble, you. Hello, Becca. How you doing, honey? I hope you're well. We will talk soon. I may even come and see you guys. We'll see. I don't know if I'll have Grandpa with me. I'd like to bring him.
I just realized if I drink a Red Bull right now, I'm toast. All right, who's next?
Vera Ray, and she's here.
That's so red. I'm going to use the Oracle of the Hekatean Path, Miss Vera. Everybody hide. Oh my gosh, who could relax in a hospital? Like, people are so lucky. They don't see everything.
I love the attention, but I can't relax. Too many weirdness goes on.
All right, Miss Vera, let's see what's going on. I did read for Lotus, right? Yeah, I did. Brimo, the angry one. The card of fury. Wow, I haven't pulled this one yet. This is a newer deck. Yeah, I know. That's exactly what I mean. It's like, it's so much. That's why, like, my monthly doctor appointments at the hospital, it's not good. Poa. That's so Southern, though. And Anna, do you know now, like, any shutting down techniques? I mean, I don't think there's a way to shut out all of it, but there are a few techniques that I do that can at least get rid of the bulk of it while you're out in public, including in a hospital setting. Vera. Brimo is the shatterer of worlds, and her voice will shake things to their foundation. Hecate Brimo is the bringer of storms of change, so do not resist them. The only true thing to fear is fear itself and fear of self, for even during turmoil, a new balance will definitely be found. Look to the strength of your foundations. No more coasting, no more relying on others, no more lies, and no more procrastination. The goddess does not bring hardship out of spite. Hecate is speaking to you. Listen. So, Vera, this isn't saying you're lying. I feel like you've been told lies that you've known were lies, but you accepted them because it was easier than, like, accepting the truth, if that makes sense. Like, it's easier to believe, and I'm not saying anyone's cheating on you. I'm using this as an example. It's easier to believe our significant other when they say, no, I was, out with the guys, but you can't call them because their wives don't know where they were. Like, it's easier to accept some BS story than to come to terms with the fact that your heart's being ripped out of your chest, right? It's easier to just stay in your comfort zone than to actually question what's going on. Yes, divine empathic, I will timestamp you for sure, honey. Go to that meeting, go do you. And I feel like now is the time to face the truth and the facts of whatever the situation is, right? So it's not time to, like, overthink or overanalyze the situation. The truth is very plain. It's plain. It's there for you to see the facts, everything going on. And I feel like whoever's lying to you, or whoever's kind of, good night, Mark, you too, whoever's kind of manipulating the truth, and molding it into this thing that like you're probably going to believe because it's more comfortable that way, they need to go. At the very least, if you can't get away from them, you're going to have to confront them. But I'm not saying be confrontational. Just let them know that you're onto their BS and they need to stop. All right. It's time for you to make a decision about something, whether it be a relationship, a job, cutting ties with a sister or brother, somebody close to you. Because somebody here is so full of poop, like their breath smells like it. They're literally breathing it out. And I feel like, Vera, you just don't have time anymore for that. And you just don't want that in your life now. Good night, Miss Pixie. Love you. Vera, the only thing I can really say is you deserve better than what this person is trying to feed you, which is their own poop. I don't know how else to say it. All right. I want you to really be in your power and stand up for yourself and let people, not just this person, but let people know that you're kind and you're honest, rigorously so, and you're gentle and you'll do anything for anyone except compromise your morals and values. And you also will not accept their version of the truth, because the truth is the truth is the truth. And also know that you don't need proof. Enough is in your intuition. Okay. That's a big thing here too. Who's next?
Sandra. It's okay, Ash. Just drive and I'll talk to you when you get home. I'll have
Ashley,
Gemma
we got you. Sandra, I'm using Wisdom of the Wild Things. Yes, Moochie, exactly. Let it go. He'll either come around in his own time or he won't. It's not for you to reach out to him. I mean, sometimes we have to give in, we have to let our ego go and let our pride slip. But I don't think this is one of those situations. I feel like this is a time where you need to stand your ground. Yeah, Divine, we got you. Yes, go to your meeting. Have a great weekend. Go do you. We got you. Of course we do. Oh my gosh. These cards, some of them give me the chills. They're really creepy. So, Sandra, you got Laughter Heals. Card number 10. Look at that thing. That is the stuff nightmares are made of. Smoochie, that's good. Just make sure that the sister or the wife doesn't become like the go-between, right? Don't let her talk you around to his side, and don't try to talk her into talking to him. You know what I mean? Let him do this on his own. Yeah, it looks like a sock puppet, but it has lobster or octopi for hands.
Looks like an old bunker friend of mine.
I don't think octopi is a word. I think I just made that up, but creepy. All right, Sandra. Yeah, that could inadvertently happen, Smoochie. Don't let it. It's not your place to move forward in this. It's his. And I would tell you the truth. I hope you know that by now. Sandra, laughter is medicine. Take a strong dose right now. Go watch your favorite funny movie or hilarious reels on the internet. Indulge all forms of hilarity right now. Watch Gemma Jade sing and dance and make a fool of herself for views. Giggle, snort, cackle, roar. I did put that in there. It wasn't actually there, in case you guys didn't know. Bonus points if you even pee a little bit. That is there. The cells in your body are begging for you to be in the place of rejuvenating laughter, whether you're facing an uncertain health report, a troublesome relationship, an anxious beginning, or an overwhelming ending, or simply the melee of boredom. It's time to laugh. Your resilience will bolster. Your ideas and creativity and energy will revitalize until they do laugh. The average 6-year-old child laughs 300 times a day. The average adult, only 12. Indulge those endorphins. Be 6 again. Sandra, I know this sounds like a very simple message, and on the one hand, it is, on the one hand, it is, but I feel like in your particular situation, you forgot even if you still are doing things that are fun for you, where you're enjoying yourself, it's like you forgot how to have fun. And I'll give you the best example. I completely forgot how much I love bowling because I lost that part of myself, right? Not wanting to do things in my recovery because it's like, well, I used to do those things high and they're going to trigger me. Whatever your reason is, you've lost these parts of yourself, Sandra, that allow you to be yourself, be goofy and giggly and fun. You know, I let it all out in shorts. As you guys could probably see from today, I was all over the place, but I had so much fun. Sandra, this is you getting back to the basics of yourself, whether anyone else likes it or not. And guys, when I say these types of things, it's not selfishness. It's loving yourself. You're allowed to do that. It's what you're here to do. I'm not asking you to find laughter again at the expense of someone else, but why have you lost it because of someone else? If you have to lose yourself, if you have to lose your joy and your laughter and your ability to be happy in and of yourself and be hopeful about your future just to have someone's love, is that love? You shouldn't be giving these things up for anyone, including for yourself. Sandra, there's something here that's really unhealthy. And I feel like taking a step back, doing something only for you, having fun, making sure you laugh like a little kid again, even if you pee a little, as the card said, you're going to remember what that feels like. And your body's going to want more of it. And then your mind's going to start processing and thinking of how you can have more of it. And that's when you're going to start tackling the real problem at hand. But for the next week or two, just have fun, laugh, and don't give two poops of a rat's tail. I don't think I said that right. Who likes it and who doesn't? Go and do these things yourself, whatever makes you laugh, makes you happy. And we're not just talking about happiness. We're talking about joy, laughter, celebration even. No matter who likes it or who doesn't.
Next is my daughter, Ashley.
Jules, I wasn't aware, but I see it to the left and in front. Like before when I was like, oh, that's weird. And I was kind of, but again, I can't. I'll talk to you privately. I've been trying to rein that stuff in so it's not used against me at a later date. But yeah, I'm aware mostly. Thank you. Miss Ashley, I'm using deep, dark, and dangerous.
Well, what good timing there, daughter of mine. Does Rebecca want one too? Just let me know or let Gemma know.
Yeah, whatever. If she needs one, just let us know soon. Because I probably could squeeze an ending at 10 o'clock if we try hard enough.
Actually, Jersey, you're almost done. After Ashley, you have Divine, then Munchie Chipmunk if they're still here.
Well, Divine is a timestamp. She asked
right, and then if you do KC.
All right, Munchie Chipmunk, let us know you're here because you're going to be next. Okay, and then we'll timestamp Divine, Casey, and Rebecca.
Gotcha.
Thank you, Jules. I appreciate that, but I'll talk to you personally about it. It's ridiculous, but it is what it is right now. When you talk about being able to be yourself, right? And just be who you are naturally and having to contain that for someone else's comfort or so someone else doesn't hurt you with it. It sucks. Thank you, Ghost Dragons, for fitting me in, Gemma. I need to ponder. Good. Think about it. It'll come to you. You got this. And you're so welcome. Thank you for spending your time with us. Thought it was odd. And what did it mean? It meant have fun. It meant laugh. All right, Munchie, you're next. Let me just pull for Ashley here. Aoshi. And I know I'm pronouncing that wrong, so don't come at me in the comments. Disconnection. Card number 41. It is a dangerous card. People come at me in the comments like I'm supposed to know how to speak Irish Gaelic. Respect the land and especially the land you live upon. Find comfort and joy in the changing of the seasons and the green places you come into contact with. Protect and defend Mother Earth. Before you attack someone, make sure you have all sides of the story. Aoshi or Aesciti are fae or fae-like creatures from Celtic and Gaelic mythos. Most likely they are the ancestors of the Tuatha De Danann, an ancient Celtic mythical race of deities, or the people of the goddess Danu, who were mentioned in the complex world of Irish mythos. In some ways, this is a tragic story, with the people being forced to retreat into the other land, a kind of parallel universe, to escape the coming of the mortal invaders from over the seas. To survive, the Aoshi found sanctuary within the gentle spaces between the human and other world, a place of fairy rings and forts, caves, and magic. As these folks are living within the layers of the land and between worlds too, they are incredibly protective of their homes and the biomes in which they live. Trees, meadows, a mound, a certain rock or loch, a spring, a small hill, or a particular tree could indeed be theirs, and to destroy or damage the area could be detrimental to the human who does it. Should someone cut down a tree that is theirs, or say leave a cart on a certain area of fragile moss, the Aoshi may keep thinking of AOC and I want to vomit. May enact revenge or at least move the cart somewhere else. Revenge could mean something as simple as losing an object precious to you, to having your home burnt down, your cow's milk dry up, or one of your family kidnapped. The latter also could involve them swapping your human child out for a changeling, and you would never get your human child back for your wrongdoing. The best idea is to live harmoniously with the Aoshi and be mindful of how and where you tread. Being in simpatico with nature and respecting all things is a good place to start. And it's a good way not to get yourself into any trouble, accidental or otherwise. Even being respectful as to how you refer to them helps. For example, calling them the good people or the fair folk. It's important to leave little gifts and offerings, food, honey, flowers, cream, or precious stones out for the good people as a sign of respect at dawn and dusk, as these are the transitional times when you are more likely to encounter them. The festivals of Midsummer, Beltane, and Samhain were special times for the Aoshi, as they were times of profound change and magic for both human and fae. We know that by respecting and connecting with the good people, many places in Ireland were never harmed, deforested, or paved over because of the myth of the Aoshi and the mindset that came with trying to live in harmony with them. This conservation of green areas can only be a good thing and something that they would approve of. Your crystal companion, Ashley, is amethyst. I can't even speak anymore. Amethyst. And your plant companion is foxglove. So this is pretty simple. And yes, it is talking about getting back to basics with nature, maybe a little grounding technique. I have a grounding mat that Deb bought me for Christmas that is always under my feet. So right now I'm sitting at my work desk. This is where I write all my books, where I write all the scripts for MP&M, where I film, where I do everything. That's why this background is always here. And I got a new one I got to hang up. But at my feet, under my bare feet, is a grounding mat. And that's usually why I'm bouncing off the walls during these streams for the most part. Ashley, what this is also saying, though, is make sure that you're receiving the right information. So make sure that you trust where your information is coming from, because somebody is purposefully trying to mislead you. And they're using your heart to do it. They're telling you all of these things and you're ready to react like a viper. And really the story is a lot different than what you're actually hearing. It may not be completely false what they're telling you, but they're adding a lot to it to make it more juicy. This person and or these people have nothing else to do with their lives except meddle in the business of others. And they're trying to bring you into their dramatic, chaotic, weirdo in the worst possible way, lives, by getting you all worked up and wound up to see, they're like, those little toys where you wind the back of it and they move. They're trying to wind you like that to watch you move. They're trying to manipulate you. Again, there is truth to whatever it is you're hearing, but it's not exactly what you're hearing. So make sure you hear all sides of the story and pick out. For some reason, I'm getting some lies and some truth from this side, some lies and some truth from that side, some lies and some truth. Nobody's telling you the whole truth. Everyone's adding things to make themselves look better or to make their stories look more reasonable. And I don't know what this is, but you have to figure out where the truth lies in all of this. So get all of the information. You don't even have to call anyone out on their BS. Just know that you know what feels right to you is an instinct. And go with that. And do what you feel is right to do. Not what someone's winding you up and trying to force you to do. Not what, XYZ tells you to do. Not what this person's going to be hurt if you don't do. Work from your heart space and your intuition to pick out the kernels of truth. Figure out what's really going on before you make any decisions, because you could end up acting very, I want to say irrationally, but it wouldn't be irrational. If you believed the things you're hearing, it would be very rational for you to behave in this way, but it's not all true. It's a lot of it has been fabricated. What is this? A lot of this has been fabricated to get you to react in a certain way. So you have to take a deep breath, take some time, be patient. Don't rush into anything. Fools rush in isn't just about love, okay? This is important. I see this as something very important. It's important that you don't make any rash decisions. You don't act too quickly. I don't know what that is. I hope it resonates with you. If it doesn't, it will in the next week or two.
Okay. If you're going to do, you want to just do all your timestamps after you do.
Well, let me read for Munchie because she's actually here.
Yeah, I was going to say do Munchie, then your timestamps.
Munchie, I'm going to do Dell awaits.
Yes, Ashley.
Okay. Yeah, make sure that, because everyone is telling like little white lies. Like to make their story more juicy, more, or to make themselves look better in the situation. Nobody's telling you the full truth. Nobody is. Everybody's like got some lies in there. And unfortunately, it falls to you to sort them out. Everybody, let me put it this way, the way that I'm seeing it. Everybody has a stake in this, that they don't want to look like the bad guy, that they don't want to look like they did anything wrong, and that they don't want to get in trouble. And I see this as kind of serious trouble. So everybody's kind of making themselves look better than they really were in this situation. And things were done, bad things. But it's not to the degree that I feel like someone may even have a grudge against someone else. And I don't know. This is a lot from one card. Just please be very careful. Ashley, I'm doing your personal on Monday. I may be able to fit it in on Sunday, but definitely Monday it will be done and sent to you. I need your phone number so I can send it, or I can send it to your dad and he can send it to you. All right, Munchie. The wolf. Don't tell me too much. I know a tiny bit. I didn't even think about that until just now. I'm not going to find out anymore. I want to do your reading fresh and see, without being like biased towards any one thing. Right now, I just know one small part of it. We haven't even had time to talk about it, which is actually a good thing because now I'm going in fresh and not knowing too much. The Adventurers Lounge, what's up? Card number 22, the wolf, Munchie. I am the wild wolf standing before a full moon. I often appear in fairy tales, though my appearance is feared most of the time. They say I'm cruel, hungry, and merciless. They say I eat little pigs, little boys, little girls, and even grandmothers as well. They say I hide in the forest with my gleaming fangs and voracious appetite, but this is all a legend. I'm actually nobler, sweeter, and more inspiring than what is said everywhere. I'm here to tell you that your inner wilderness needs to be heard and unleashed. Stop being reasonable, tidy, careful. Go through the forest, bay at the moon, dig your claws into the ground and show your fangs. Run, growl, bark. The time has come to be wild. Your soul belongs to the night and to the moon. The wolf within you wants to be released and act freely. So listen to this call and unchain your inner wolf. Munchie, it is time to stop being so polite. Who's being polite to you? I'm not saying be rude, right? I don't mean polite in that way, but I mean like stop worrying so much about how others are going to feel about the decisions you make for and or about yourself, right? You're a grown-up, girl. Why are you basing what you do with and within your life on how someone outside is going to feel when they're barely doing anything for you, if they're doing anything for you at all? You're giving too much, and this person or these people are just taking and taking, and you're changing. You're becoming less and less of yourself every day as they suck the life right out of you. Ryan! Munchie, it's really important that in the next week or two, you make decisions based solely on what you want and what you feel you need. And I'm not saying be inconsiderate of others, but people that are demanding you make one choice or another, they do not belong in your life right now because you're trying to figure things out. And how could you ever learn and grow if you're not able to go through anything? If you're not able to try anything new? I think this is going to be really hard for you, especially with one particular person or in one particular situation. But Munchie, please stop listening to everyone tell you what you can't do, what you shouldn't be doing, what's better. For the next week or two, just for the next week or two, try it out. Make your own decisions based on your own intuition, your own knowledge, your own wants, your own needs, your own body, mind, soul, and spirit demands. Stop being misled. Wolf in sheep's clothing. That's what I'm hearing too. Somebody is not trying to help you through these decisions. They're trying to control your life. Luke.
Always your fault, Ryan. Remember that. You're the one that steals all the Cheetos and hides in the dark with them and shares them with the weirdo.
The Adventurers Lounge, please let us know if you want a reading. And if they do, it'll be Ryan and then the Adventurers Lounge. No other readings. And then I'm going to do the timestamps. Ryan, you want a reading, right?
Luke has arrived. Have you seen?
I told you, we have decided.
Have you seen the post I sent you? You probably didn't. With stormtroopers and Darth Vader playing the theme music?
No.
You need to go look for it. I tagged you.
Munchie's so glad. Stephen, I definitely will. All right, I'm using the Oracle of the Divine Circus for Ryan. Adventurers Lounge, please answer within, by the time I'm done with this reading, because we are ending right after this one and my timestamps. You're two-time and cheap lying wannabe. I have that damn song in my head. I saw red. Multifaceted jewels, exactly. Lock your false self in the basement. If you don't have a basement, a closet will do. Shoot, a cubby will do at this point. All right.
Not in my basement. It's my basement.
He's a very territorial dragon. I don't know. You got the Dark Harlequin. All right. Card number 27. Hi, Face. Ryan, you are a spiritual adventurer. You're not afraid to go to the edge of what you know, of who you have believed yourself to be, even when before you there lies the darkness of unknown worlds, of undiscovered parts of you. Even when you feel uncertainty, discomfort, or doubt, you are still willing, even if shaking in your boots, to figure out what it's all about. This fine and fierce attitude gives you a special kind of grace, the grace to discover that you are a living, wild, and divinely free, empowered force to be reckoned with in this world. That discovery sets you free from fear and unleashes you upon a path of loving, wild creation and joyful abandon. So you have come to a place in you and in your life where you don't know. You don't know what's happening. You don't know how to work through it. You don't know who you are. Well, not all of who you are. And you don't know what you don't know. You're at the point of not knowing because you're growing. There will be surprises. There will be discoveries. You'll feel awkward at times, but you're trying to see in the dark. You'll wonder if you're supposed to be so confused, if you're supposed to feel like you aren't sure who you are anymore, or even if the things that once made sense in your life are supposed to seem so fragile, as though life, once thought rock solid, actually turns out to be a house of cards. The answer, of course, is yes. Yes, it's a royally divine mess. I'm great. Thank you for coming in, by the way. Ryan, don't be afraid to let there be some inner rattling and rampaging. The Dark Harlequin card comes to you at a time when you are naturally diving into the darkness, but it's for healing purposes. So ask the difficult questions. Do things you wouldn't normally do. Experiment with thinking in ways you wouldn't normally think. Be willing to let everything change for the better by first letting go of how things are now. The messier your inner world seems to be right now, the more you can expect complete and utter transformation as a new order comes into form. Expect the unexpected, for you were born to grow into what is happening now. It's time to let the wild thing within you out. This is great. This is about, letting go of inhibitions and just taking chances because you want to take them. Nothing to your detriment, nothing dangerous. You may feel really mixed up and confused about certain situations, but there are others that you're really sure about. The thing now in the next week or two is to take the things you're really sure about and focus more on those. And the things you're unsure about, you can flip a coin because the universe got your back. This is a time to make mistakes. This is a time to learn and grow and change because you're coming into awakening. You are coming out of the dark night of the soul and you're squeezing right into awakening. And this is a really amazing time. But the thing too is you're going to lose people you thought would always be in your life. You're going to be unsure of people you once trusted with all your heart and soul. That's okay. That's how you tune and fine tune and tweak your intuition. Ryan, don't let anyone or anything anyone says hold you back or stop you, because we talked about this personally. You do have some snakes in your grass. This is where you become the snake charmer, right? Turning the tables on them, letting them know that you are not the one to be messed with, but also not putting all of your attention and focus onto that, because I feel like that's what people are trying to do. They're trying to get you off your game. They're trying to get you focusing on them and what they're doing. Hi, look over here. So you don't see the amazing opportunities that are going on this side. Let this drama, this chaos, this nonsense be one small part of your existence, and then shine as bright as you possibly can in all the other areas. And the universe is saying, if you don't know and you make a mistake right now at this moment in time, that's what you're supposed to be doing. Don't second guess yourself. Don't chastise yourself for mistakes. As long as you're not purposefully hurting anyone, you're perfectly fine and you're exactly where you're supposed to be. All right, let's do Casey. And that's going to be the Black Moon Lilith. Yes, me too. Shine bright like a diamond. Slowly but surely. Slow and steady really does win the race sometimes. And when it doesn't, the universe will let you know. Wendy Wolf, I love it. That's my plan too, guys. See, we have so much in common. All right, Miss KC, first timestamp of the night. Do you know ketchup is one condiment I really don't usually eat? Every once in a while, I'll have a craving for French fries with ketchup. I don't like ketchup. I also don't like chicken nuggets, and I'm not big on French fries. I don't know. I like McDonald's fries, though. KC, Black Moon Lilith in Capricorn, elevated status. And just so you know, Chica, this is my Black Moon Lilith, okay? My Black Moon Lilith is in Capricorn, and this is what I'm all about. So you're meshing with my energy this week. So let's see. Card number 10. Imposter syndrome is creeping in, and you are doubting your accomplishments. The cosmos wants you to let go of insecurities and have faith in yourself. When this card shows up, the opportunity to level up and gain recognition is well on its way. Don't let fear self-sabotage what's to come. Break the glass ceiling and shift the structures that are holding you down. Capricorn is a cardinal earth sign symbolized by the sea goat, which exudes leadership, status, structure, hierarchy, tradition, and power. Ruled by cosmic disciplinarian Saturn, Capricorn represents the patriarch and authority. That was Black Moon Lilith in Capricorn sparks rebellion against traditional and oppressive structures. Madam C.J. Walker, a natal Black Moon Lilith in Capricorn, broke down systemic barriers of oppression as the first Black multimillionaire by building a hair product empire in the early 1900s. Black Moon Lilith in Capricorn paves a unique path upward. Every time you achieve or gain the status you desire, there's always someone or something that will overshadow you. As a result, you can build up fear around your own power. The key is to step into the leadership role in your personal and professional life without making apologies. Your reality will shift once you realize the limits on yourself, once you release the limits on yourself, not the other way around. It's time to release attachment around power and recognition. Instead, align with your soul's purpose. This will make you more magnetic versus repelling the opportunities that materialize for you. What or who has questioned your authority? It's time to challenge your own imposter syndrome. So, Casey, yeah, it's time for you to accept that you deserve everything you've earned. Everything that's good in your life, you earned it one way or another, whether you worked for it, whether you paid for it, whether it was given to you, whether it was handed out to you. You received it because you deserve it, because it was yours for the taking. There's something here that you're going to be going through in the next couple of weeks where you feel undeserving of something or someone in your life. The universe is saying the more you put that out there, the more you start to become undeserving of this thing or this person. And really, it's just imposter syndrome. It's just the shadow part of you saying, going back to when you were a scared little kid over like being afraid of the dark or something. It's reminding you of your fear. The problem is you're an adult now and you have to take responsibility for your actions and also for your inaction. So Casey, Black Moon Lilith in Capricorn is telling you that in the next couple of weeks, the more undeserving you feel, the more you need to push forward as if you're the most deserving. You have to ignore those impulses. You have to ignore those thoughts, and especially ignore the people that are trying to challenge your authority. Because whatever this is, you are the ultimate authority in it. Whether it's something to do with your kids, your family, your job, you are given the authority to make the decisions in this situation. And whatever way you decide, go with your instinct. Don't follow your heart. Don't overanalyze and think. And do not make decisions just to make friends or to like make sure people don't get mad at you. There's something here that you need to decide. You are worthy of making the decision. It's a big decision. It could be a burdensome one, but you still have to make it. You can't run away. You can't back down, and stand in your confidence and in your power when speaking this decision out loud. I've decided X, Y, Z. Doesn't matter what anyone else thinks, says, or feels. You can comfort them, but at the end of the day, do not change your mind. This is very important. This is going to elevate your status even more, and nobody's going to be able to outshine you. Yeah, Anna, that's why I told my cousin to come in here. I said, you know what? Are you talking to me, son? I was like, you know what? You will find a great group of people that will take you under their wing as long as you're genuine and honest and loving. And she really needs guidance right now. I feel for her. I really do. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just not big on it. RJ doesn't eat condiments either, but I think he will as he gets older. All right. Who else? Divine Empathic and Rebecca. So let's do Divine Empathic. I'm going to use the Witching Hour. Oh my God. I'm going to have to listen to that song when I'm done with this. Did a lot of readings tonight. That's awesome. Guys, don't forget, if you can, donate to PayPal or Cash App. I really do appreciate it. Divine Empathic, you got the Sacred Vows, the card of commitment. Card number 15. Keywords: commitment, devotion, belief system, prayer. Tarot companion is the Justice. Mystics and witches are governed by higher laws. Spirit works through them, channeling love, healing, abundance, self-sovereignty, and compassion for humanity. It is in these beliefs guiding the witch through life, and she is committed to honoring the tasks placed upon her shoulders. This card represents the driving beliefs behind your choices. What is your moral compass? What keeps you aligned to your soul's nature and gives you a bump when you're deviating from your path? What are you passionate about? What are you committed to? What moves you, moves through you, and inspires you? The sacred vows guide you to devote yourself to what brings you joy and pleasure, to do more of what excites you, embrace both the simple and complex joys in life, and allow the things that bring you rapture to be held in your life as sacred. Should this card happen to fall out of the deck and land in reverse, which it didn't, you may be sacrificing your beliefs for material pursuits or be lacking in integrity in career or business. I feel like you could be dealing with someone in the next week or two who is lacking in integrity, and they're offering you a way out, quote unquote, of something, or a get rich quick scheme. I feel like you're going to know this right away. And, don't be afraid to say no, right? Don't be afraid to reject offers. Don't be afraid to walk away from quote unquote opportunities to get rich quick, or if you let me buy into your business, you'll make what's yours is yours. Also, I feel like I gotta run through that one more time. Give me 1 second. Yeah, you definitely don't want to give up your morals and values for someone else. So if you're in a relationship with someone who say is a different religion than you, and I'm just using this as an example, you're very, very serious and committed and devoted to your religion, and so is that person, how is that going to work? You're not going to be the one sacrificing. I'm going to tell you that, because I'm going to make sure of it. But they also shouldn't have to. So break away from that. Like, don't put, here's the main thing I'm getting. All right. I'll break it down simply because I do want to end. Don't take the easy ways out. Don't sacrifice anything of yours for anyone else, especially, of course you're going to sacrifice for your kids, but in this particular situation, in the next couple of weeks, don't give too much of yourself to anyone or anything, and don't sacrifice your beliefs just to not hurt someone else's feelings. You don't have to be rude. I do feel like you're going to run into a very rude, uncouth person who's going to be very judgmental at you or towards you, and you have a lot of things you could say to break them down and bring them back down to size as well. But do you really have to do that? Can't you just be the bigger person and walk away? And I know that sounds cliche, but the universe is asking you not to engage with pettiness. Okay. And also, again, say no to cutting corners, to taking the easy way out, to get rich quick schemes, to, being irresponsible with your responsibilities, just shirking your responsibilities. There's someone that's like a bad influence here. And I feel like you like this person and you're ignoring red flags, whether it be romantically, whether it's someone in your family you reconnected with. You are ignoring red flags, and we cannot have that. All right. One more, Miss Rebecca. Dark Goddess. Okay, let me shuffle one more time. No! Ah! How many did I drop? All right, just one. Okay, that's good. All right, Rebecca. I knew that card was going to come out. Inanna. Inanna. Sorry. Seduction. Yeah, the card of seduction. Rebecca, your appetite for enticement naturally attracts those who wish to inject some glamour into their own lives. You have a very powerful appeal, which you knowingly and expertly use to get exactly what you want. Your unsuspecting friends and family don't stand a chance when you decide to go in for that kill. As a natural charmer, you have the ability to seduce others through your ideas, words, and actions into doing your bidding. Just like Ainana, you are an independent individual who does as you please. Sometimes this is without regard for consequences, which either manipulates, softly threatens, or tries to seduce others to fix the difficulties your behavior has created. However, you shine brightly like the morning star of love and beauty, Venus, who is associated with the Sumerian goddess herself. On the shadow side, Ainana equally invites war and warns that your alluring efforts could come at a price. For misuse of your beguilement could lead to a tarnished reputation and some sort of isolation. Careful, for you are about to be swept away. An offer that seems too good to be true is. Remember that everybody has free will. Don't be coerced into doing anything you don't want to do. Be strong and stand your ground. Be truthful, integral, consistent, and assertive. Use your captivating ways for your own highest good. Archetypal seducer of Sumerian origin, Ainana was the goddess of sex, war, and political power, and was the original version of the goddess Ishtar. Her powers of seduction knows no bounds, enabling her to win over hearts, minds, and entire realms. Rebecca, stop playing with people, girl. I feel like you're just coming into this, right? I know you're fairly young, and you're coming into this understanding that you have this charm about you, this way about you that you can get what you want, but pretty easily. The problem is eventually there's going to come a time where somebody's going to want something for what they give you. And you're going to find yourself in a situation that you can't charm your way out of. You can't talk your way out of it. And I do sense like trouble ahead where if you decide to sacrifice your integrity, you're going to blame it all on not you. Like, it wasn't me. I didn't do it. But you have to come to admit, look, I'm not saying the other person is right at all. It really depends on the situation. But you have to admit the part you played, right? Don't make things worse by lying to make yourself look better or by lying to make yourself feel better because you feel bad about the consequences of these actions. This is a great lesson that you could learn for your life about using your looks or your, whatever to get what you want in the moment, because it will come back to bite you, because almost nothing in this world's for free. Rebecca, you're playing a very dangerous game. And I feel like in the next week or two, in the next few weeks, maybe even, a month or two, it's going to come back to bite you, but you can do the right thing. You can stand your ground and stand in your integrity and say, this is my role in this, and take whatever consequences come to you and learn a lesson for life. Or you can continue to push blame, falsely blame, take no accountability for your actions and learn to become somewhat of a narcissistic person who does what they want to get what they want and never takes accountability for it. It's going to be your decision to make. Whatever decision you make is yours. You can do whatever you want, but you will suffer in the long run if you aren't standing in your integrity. Your daughter? Granddaughter. Yeah, I was like, don't confuse me.
That's my granddaughter.
Rebecca's, his daughter Ashley that was just in here. That's her daughter, right?
That's my oldest.
Right, but Rebecca's her daughter is what I'm asking.
Right, her oldest.
Her oldest. Okay.
Yes.
All right, guys, I'm going to go. I love you guys so much. Thank you for coming in and hanging out with me tonight and putting up with me as usual. I love you all. You guys are tremendous and the actual best. I will see you all Monday at 11 a.m. Well, in the pre-recorded for Listener Encounters, Volume 17. And then at noon, all Eastern time, we're doing Volume 18. Some of y'all may see yourselves in there. Ghost Dragons, Nut Slap, someone else who asked me they want to remain anonymous, but you are in here telling your story about your grandpappy. So love you guys so much, and just have a great weekend, okay? Be in your highest vibration, your best energy. Stephen, please don't forget to find Christina's reading and put it in the time. All right, guys. Bye.
Good night.